Scarborough Beach and the very first Surf League surf boats competition for the year. My name's Matt Hort and this is Mark Irwin. Mark will be looking after the competition today and I'll be commentating throughout. So we've got pretty much ideal conditions for rowers today. There's a gentle sort of sou'easter. It's pretty flat. There's a little bit of excitement to be had potentially in the sort of the beach zone there. But at this point, I'll hand over to Mark about what the format's going to be and what we're aiming for today.
Yeah, so short court racing today, Matt. What we've got is about a 295 metre course. It's a dry start, so you'll see either sweep or sometimes possibly the stroke running down, tapping the boat before they jump in the boat. They have to call when they go in. There's a short shore break there to navigate on the way out. It's quick racing, quick turnarounds. When they get back to shore, someone has to jump out, run up and hold the flag nice and high. So it's a dry finish as well, Matt.
It sounds exhausting and exciting.
All right, and we're going to be underway shortly. We're about 2 minutes off the start. We're starting the under-19, under-23 female combined race. We then go to the male race, and then we go to the open rounds. And we're starting with 4 open rounds of the females and then 3 rounds of the males. Quick turnarounds, as I said, so it should be exciting racing, Matt.
Sounds great. Crews just getting prepared, waiting for a start. As Mark said, it's going to be pretty quick format, so there'll be no mucking around on the beach. Now the boats are just waiting for the starters, and as a rower, this is where you start to get pretty nervous. It's a dynamic start. You've got to leap in the boat, hopefully get your feet in the foot chocks and be pulling on that oar as quick as you can. This is the bit where I always used to get super nervous. I was never the most athletic guy and I was bow seat, so I had to jump a long way to get in. And here we go. Ready to go. They'll all be looking for a clean start, and the starters are looking to try and give them an even wave. So no one's disadvantaged by the conditions. Of course it is surf, so it's going to be dynamic. All right, the flag's up. And the sweeps. Some are nimble, some are not. But they're making their way down to the boat. And the rowers are off. They all look to have had a reasonably clean start. Northcott have had a ripper. It'd be fair to say Northcott on the right-hand side. Out in front, it looks like Fremantle and Scarborough might have had a bit of tete-a-tete on the beach.
Yeah, it looks like Coogee got stuck on the beach there too, Matt. They had a bit of trouble getting out. They're going to have to make it up. It's pretty hard to make up on a short course, so we'll see how they go.
I did notice it was a pretty shallow start for some of them there. They were only knee-deep.
Yeah, some of these boats have to make sure, obviously, as the tide goes out there and sucks back out, they could get left high and dry. So they've got to try to predict how long it's going to take their runner to get down and make sure their boats are floated.
And Northcott's continued on with their strong start out there on the right-hand side of the course. They're just settling into their rhythm now. Fairly short course. So There's not a lot of rhythm to have, really. It's just go like crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to settle into your racing on a short course like this. The thing to notice today, the water is a little bit messy out there, so watch those nice, long, clean strokes of the boats out in front. It's all about not making mistakes and getting those oars caught up and stopping the run of the boat today. So
you're a sweep, Mark. You're coming back in and you've got this little sandbank there and then a little bit of a trench. What are you thinking there? How do you deal with that?
Well, this is pretty hard today. Obviously, you're chasing those runs as you start to come through on the way home. Scarborough can be a bit tricky. As that water sucks up, even on these small little waves, you can lose a bit of control on the boat as that nose dives down and there's just no water underneath you.
And Northcott are the first around the can, so they had a good start, and they've just... Actually, sorry, no, is that Northcott? Yeah, I'm correct. Northcott's good start. They've continued through. First around the can, nice clean turn.
Yeah, you can see down on the black can, they're looking pretty quick there, coming home nice and strong.
On the left-hand side. Okay, the Northcott Jills, under 23s on the far left of, as you look out to the ocean. They've, I must admit, I don't know what I was looking at. Over on the far left, they're doing really well, rowing beautifully there. Beautiful rhythm. Yeah. Long strokes that Mark was talking about. And that's getting into the area where there will be a few skates to catch.
Right, you can see City coming home strong too. This is Grant True sweeping City G's, and those who've watched Surf League before might know Grant True. He's normally up here with a microphone, but he's on the back of the boat today.
Right, those Northcott under 23s there, just catching a little something now, so keep an eye on them. They're right on the sandbank, beautifully controlled there by the sweep. Lovely. Yep. Those rowers will be thanking him. And then we've got City.
Trigg Wipeout's coming through. Nice little wave there by Trigg. Coogie's next to him as well. Both holding it.
Oh, what an exciting
race
finish.
Hard now.
We've got three boats here within cooee of each other. Northcott have just come in first place, and these three boats are going to have to row it out. Here comes Trigg. Trigg have come through. Oh, and that's a bit of a photo finish. Well done, Coo. Here we go. Oh, that was a great race for second place. We had City over on the left. Coogee and then Trigg came in. That was an excellent foot race to the finish. Exciting stuff.
Well, and there you saw Northcott Young Guns with Dave Hunt got overtaken on a wave by those crews in the middle. It shows what a difference the waves can make today.
That's what I need. I need the actual run sheet. I don't have that. Push it down a bit first. Push it down first. Okay, now this is a period of a surf carnival. A surf boat carnival, there's always a bit of mayhem. You've got to move the boats around in between races for the next crew. You've got to keep your wits about you here. It seems fairly sort of easy just moving boats along the beach, but you can see some nasty incidents occasionally where the boat goes broadside to the wave, and if someone's not paying attention on the beach side, you can see the boat bounce over the top of them. Seen it a couple of times, and it's not pretty, so all of the crews have to pay attention here, and generally other crews will come from their club will come down and help them out to make it a little bit easier. Obviously, you've just finished your race. You're a bit puffed. Handling the boat just seems like extra agony, and so the rest of your club will come and help you move the boats along and make sure it's done safely.
That's what I felt anyway. Yeah, okay. We'll keep an eye. Which one see if you get the other comments. Yeah.
Anyone keen for a quick interview? Claire?
Justin?
You just raced in?
Once you've cleared them all, can you come and let me know?
Okay, we've got Claire from the Trigg under 23s. Sorry? Oh, okay, Claire, can you introduce yourself, Claire, and the crew?
Yeah. So hi, I'm Claire. We have also Michaela in stroke, Lauren in second stroke, Lily in bow, and me in second seat, so second bow.
Okay, so they've got a wonderful name, the Trigg Wipeouts. Really exciting race there, Claire. As you caught that wave, what were you thinking?
Hopefully we can get on. And then once we did get on, I was like, hopefully we can do really well. And we did. So good job, team.
When the wave started to run out and you knew you still had a few strokes to make, what were you thinking then?
Man, I'm unfit.
Well, go and have a rest, Claire. Great racing. It was exciting to watch. like gazelles.
Yeah, you notice Freo in the middle there had their stroke do the work. The sweeps obviously decided it's going to be quicker with the young fella running down. Obviously, you're then risking they're a bit worn out as their legs are a bit tight as they hit the boat. There's a wave coming in now, so this is going to make a little bit of a difference. Little wave like that at Scarborough can be enough to stop. You'll see the bows pump up, handled well by Freo in the middle, and you've got City over on the end can doing really well as well. Scarborough just got stopped there, and they're going to have to hit through another one with no boat speed now.
It's all about boat speed, isn't it, Mark? You know, a wave coming through, if you're dead in the water, it's going to hurt. Yeah,
and you can see the difference. Freo had a nice clean start. They're aimed straight out. As they hit those little stoppers, they're straight through it. But you can see Scarborough on the end there and Northcott, because they were going a little bit sideways and didn't have the boat speed, the second one stopped them dead.
It's almost cruel. You see a crew get hit by a wave, it slows them down, and then it's like it's just going to pick on them for the rest of the time until they get out of the wave zone.
Yeah, definitely. And the crews today, as they're rowing out, obviously if they've been stopped on the shore there, they know they haven't got enough room to catch that back. So it does play on their mind, but they've just got to get back into it and get their rhythm back.
So you're well behind, Mark. The other crew's got out in front. They've got a good start. On a short course, can you catch them again?
Yeah, it's unlikely, but as you saw in the last race, there's enough wave here today that even if you're sitting behind, you can come through on the end. If you're out in front and there's no assistance, that sandbar will really slow you up.
Yeah, and Fremantle have continued. They've got around the can nice and cleanly. And Mark was questioning the sweep, sprinting down. I don't think there's anything wrong with his legs or his rower's legs. They're just powering through this race. We've got Northcott Wolverines, under 23s, swept by Andrew Pope. They look like they're going to try and challenge. And over on the far left, we've got City Drafts, under 23s.
Yeah, and you'll notice as they came around the turn, they did head back towards the south. They're making sure they're lining up early with their cans so they can really keep that pace on. It's a bit trickier today because it is a dry finish. They can't just finish anywhere. They've got to finish on their can, otherwise that runner's left with a bit too much work to do.
Now, the City Drafts are a bunch of river rowers in their first year of rowing surf boats, and they didn't get a great start, but look, they're in the area where they can catch a skate and catch right up to this Fremantle crew.
Yeah, and you'll already see a bit of a swell building out the back there. Northcott are chasing that. Over on the blue and white as well, you see the Northcott here, and they look like they might even pick up a little run. We'll see how they go.
I reckon this is going to be close, Mark. I reckon this is going to be real close. There's a little something here. They're both on it. This is a foot race.
Yeah, and if you have a look, Freo, this wave's going to catch up with them, so they've got to keep that boat speed going on. They're both on the same wave. And Scarborough's coming through on the end there too, so that'll bring them through. This could be a tight finish, this one.
So this is real tight. Now, those boys from the river with their blade work, they've kept it clean, and now it's a foot race. Who's going to get there? Oh, City are running hard, and City have taken it. And Freo. And finally, Northcott in third place.
And you can see Scarborough came through on the end there, so that wave did make a difference, and Northcott bringing up the finish here.
Great, exciting race. I'm loving this short format. It's awesome. Yeah, the City Drafts. The City Drafts, under 23. Congratulations, boys. We'll have to come and have a chat to you.
All right, we're on to open women racing next, so they'll be getting ready for their boats. You'll see them all run down. They're normally swapping their oars over, and then they'll be ready to go shortly.
Sorry? Yeah. Okay, we've got Darcy here from the City Drafts, under 23. Their first year rowing surf boats, and they've just had a win. How does it feel, Darcy?
Oh, exemplary. First one we've had, so pretty chuffed, to be honest. Not too bad.
You sound a bit short of breath, mate. What's wrong?
Yeah, no, it's a loss for words.
Talk us through the, you didn't get the greatest start. You were behind. Freo was out in front. What are you thinking as you're rowing out?
Oh, look, all I've got in my mind is just putting the oar in the water, to be honest. Just trying to get in time is what you want. And we failed to do it. It's a bit choppy, so it's hard to get the sink, but we got there eventually.
So you've made that classic transition from riverboat where you have to think to surfboat where you're not thinking, you're just plugging away.
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, pretty much. It's pretty much a completely different sport when you think about it that way, but no, it's different. Yeah.
How did the wave feel?
Oh, it was a lot of resistance on it, and it's hard to get onto because it's not that big. It's a bit of a dumper, but it's not too bad.
Well, I tell you what, it certainly helped you out. It got you in there, and great foot race to the end. Well done.
Thank you very much.
Good on you, Darcy. Thanks, mate. Cheers. Okay, there's no mucking around down at Scarborough Beach. The surf boats are pretty much ready to go. Everyone's sorting themselves out. The officials have got the flag ready to be held up. Right, what have we got here? We've got Trig Island wipeouts again. Racing again.
Let's hope that name's not an omen today, Matt.
Yeah. Oh, I think they must enjoy it. And then in the next lane, we've got North Cottesloe Gills, City Roosters, City Bonitas, and Scarborough Beach Surfettes, the under-19 crew. All right, the flag's up.
Guns up.
Guns up. And off they go. All right, the sweeps seem to have recognised that getting into the boat.
Great start there by Northcott in lane 2. They're heading a bit to the left. Just watch these two boats now as Trig goes out. They might be a clash of oars here.
And what do you do when you're in that position, Mark?
Look, you'll see some of them just try to row through it. Trig were pretty quick there to manoeuvre away from it. It's much smarter to try to avoid the clash.
And is it better to row through it or sort it out?
No, I reckon sort it out. You'll see some crew. Here we go. There's a stop it. Yeah, you notice Northcott there got hit and they pushed back. The sweep pushed his sweeper out to the side to save his oar.
Now, they've got a fair bit of water on board and they're sort of in that zone where they could get hit again.
Yeah, and you can see what a difference a little stopper makes. There's enough here to make a real difference there. And Scarborough on the end have gone out to an early lead. And Northcott have really got a bit of work to do now catching up.
Anyone watching it online would think the conditions are pretty benign. You know, there's just like small sort of little rollers, but there's enough to make a difference here, isn't there?
Yeah, and it's all about that shallow bank, Matt. You can see there's not much of a swell coming through, but as it hits that little shallow bank, it really does lift up. And there's enough power in those waves, that shore dump at Scarborough, to really make a difference.
Right, so I think Scarborough on the right-hand side, the Surfettes, the under-19 crew, look to have had a really clean start, and they're just heading out to the buoy. Probably the Bonitas from City Beach should be pretty much on par there.
Yeah, we got Brendan Doyle over there. Doyley's been sweeping for a few years now, experienced A-crew rower himself, converted to a sweep. The Surfettes, young Scarborough girls, the young girls are just club girls who decided they want to jump in a boat last year, and they're really making a difference. They've stepped up this year.
So they don't have a previous experience with rowing at all?
No, not before this, Matt.
Right, okay, the Bonitas are the first around the can. So they've really caught up and they're starting to assert themselves now. The Surfettes, I think, have dropped off a little bit. Yeah, so we got the Bonitas and the Roosters would be sort of the crews to watch out in front at the moment. I'm not sure what the Northcott Gills are doing there. They're sort of going right across the course. Oh, that... Yeah.
Right, and Scarborough got held up on the turn there, so we'll probably have to check those cans and make sure they're in line there, because Scarborough went in pretty early there, but they seem to have come out a few lengths behind.
Yeah, it's heartbreaking when you get your turn wrong. You've done all the hard work. You're out there, pretty good place, and just to watch it drift away from you.
Yep, so we've got a couple of City crews here, City in front, and then we got the City Roosters, is it, chasing them down?
Yeah, the Roosters. I wonder why they're the Roosters.
And the Trig Island Wipeouts, again, a young crew from Trig. They've been rowing now for a few years.
The Bonitas are putting on a masterclass here. I think they're just going to row through and row away. I'm thinking the bow seat's going to just be able to amble through. Yeah, the water gets really heavy when the water gets shallow. So each stroke gets really heavy in the shallow zone, and you get the...
Yeah, and watch the City crew here, and you can see what happened there. The sweep let go. That's going to cause some problems. You got Northcott coming around, some clever sweeping there by Clarkey Northcott. Might hold up Trigg, though. Trigg's going to be impeded here on the finish. So, again, well done by Grant. He's manoeuvred around the back.
And despite the fact that City Bonita's miles in front, she still ran up the beach and took the flag. Yep, she's holding up. I got it. Nothing casual about that. And now for second place, there will be a sprint. Bit of a stumble. Oh, they're all run across each other.
Right.
Oh.
And Green and White just made it with a diving finish there.
Okay, so we've already seen from the races that the sport can be heartbreaking. You can be out in front, you can get a good start, and a few little things happen. You get hit by a wave, or you have a bad turn around the can, or even as you jump out of the boat, the bow seat, their legs will be absolutely tired. It's a sprint. It's sort of like the 400 metre in athletics. You're absolutely going flat out. And when you jump out of the boat, you find you might not have your legs and trip over. So you can be out in front and heartbreakingly trip over, and then the other person can go and grab the flag. We can see how close the racing is, and that when you do grab the flag, it's almost like the little nippers down at the beach. You've got to grab it as hard as you can as well to show that you've definitely got it first. All right, we're going to have to get out of the way here. We're in the thick of it.
Guns up.
Okay.
All right, great. And they're off and racing. Scarborough, good start in the middle there. Northcott on the end.
Okay,
off
so
to a
we've got
cracker. There is a
City
little wave
Beach
coming through, so we'll just check those boats out and make sure they get through
that was
cleanly.
a great race. Sorry, Mark, it's all yours.
Okay, those Northcott young guns over there on the yellow seem to be out in front a little bit. We'll keep an eye on them. We've got Bunbury following closely and Scarborough in the middle there. That's the shadow swept by the one and only Dave Irwin. He's my brother.
Probably the most...
For those viewers at home.
Okay, we've had probably the most even start of the day today. I think most of these crews are actually going to get to the can pretty much at the same time. Over on the left-hand side, we've got Sorrento Gypsies, the City Beach Ragamuffins, swept by Peter Way, Scarborough Beach Shadows, and I think the Scarborough Beach Shadows are the first around the can. So Dave Irwin is sweeping that crew. They're doing a great job. Then we've got Bunbury. Bunbury have come up for this carnival, which is fantastic. The Bunbury 4Bs, swept by John Barton. And over on the far right, we've got North Cottesloe Young Guns, the under-19 side, who are swept by Dave Hunt. And the ragamuffins are the pina coladas, not the ragamuffins. Rightio, we've just, the City Beach are not the ragamuffins, they're the pina coladas. They've changed their name. They obviously weren't happy with ragamuffins. Now, coming back to the actual race, though, we've got Scarborough are doing a great job there, swept by Dave Irwin. And Sorrento out on the left-hand side. Keep an eye out, though, far right. You've got the Young Guns, the Northcote Young Guns. Oh, they've just dropped off a bit of a skate now, so they'll miss that one. The water will get heavy again, and they're really going to have to buckle in and pull on that oar hard. Scarborough are doing a great job out here in the middle. Out in front at the moment, but keeping it. Oh, here comes the Young Guns again on the right. They've got a little something there. Is it going to be enough? Oh, it doesn't look like it. Now, Scarborough's in that real heavy water. We've had City Beach Ragamuffins. They've caught up, and they've got a little bit of help there. Poor old Scarborough's just had to pull hard the whole time. And City Beach have had that little extra help. And the runner's out. Running hard. Who's this? Oh, Jess. Go, Jess. Oh, that sand's just a little bit too heavy. And the City Pina Coladas, followed by...
And Northcott up the end here,
Scarborough
Matt, came through pretty strong as well. But you can see the difference there a run can make.
Sorry, girls, I'm going to come and get you. Sorry. Good luck, ladies. I'll definitely come and get you. Right. Where's Jack? There's Jack.
All right, we're getting ready for Heat 3 in the open female. And it's fantastic to see Broome Heat down. They've travelled all the way down from Broome. Great to see you guys.
Broome. Oh, doesn't that look loud and proud on their boat? Broome. What's that, 3,000 kilometres to come down from Broome to compete in this?
Yeah, it's a fair hike.
That's what these high-profile events do. They heard it was going to get a live broadcast and they thought, we want a part of that action. Let's get there. Good on you, Broome. Now, what's the beach? Flags up.
Guns up.
Rightio. I'm going to be watching Broome for most of this.
Yeah, look, this crew's been around for a while. Be swept by Pete Selton.
It's a nice start.
These guys are quality rowers on a national stage. And the fact that they've travelled not only all the way down here, but they've brought their own boat, Matt.
They've staked a claim. That's what they've done. And they've started really well.
Yeah, and you see Brendan Dorr there with the Storm got, it's Wayne Spear with the Storm. Got stuck on the shore there. They've got a bit of work now to make up. And Northcott just going over this little one. And just on the left there you go, Mullaloo just copying that and a bit slowed down, and same with Freo.
Freo get hit hard too. But in the meantime, it's the Broome crew are doing great. Now, I've been to Cable Beach for a while, but what's the surf like at Cable Beach, Mark?
Funny you should ask. There's not much there. I'll tell you what, though, I've been up there a few times and the sneaky little ones come through. But, most of the time it's pretty flat. But I'll tell you what, Pete Selton knows how to sweep on a wave. He can certainly handle the Scarborough conditions, and he's proved that before. Yeah,
they got through that zone pretty easily, really. They look like accomplished surfboat rowers that are used to handling a little bit of variable water. I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting them to get a bit freaked out.
Yeah, they're strong girls. They also row masters, but these girls are strong rowers and they're experienced rowers. So they had the momentum. And as we said before, it's all about momentum when you're navigating that shore break at Scarborough. You can see on the left-hand side there, Matt, Fremantle Ferals living up to their name. They're looking a bit feral over there. I think they've got some crew trouble. Something's going on the way out. They hit a stopper, but they're obviously having some problems, and they look like they might be heading back to shore.
Yeah, you can see the body language, can't you?
Yeah. Then in the middle, we've got Northcott coming around now. Look, Broome seem to have just been overtaken by Northcott in the middle there. They got held up. They've gone pretty wide on that, and they've got some work to do now to catch up to Northcott Mac Attack in the middle.
Now, Northcott Mac Attack, I wonder what that's about. Is that just a sweep that's got a little extra padding there, or is that the crew's staple food?
Yeah, I don't know. And sometimes with these crew names, Matt, it doesn't pay to think too much about it.
Yeah, and look, Northcott's quality, the Mac Attack crew has come through there. They've hit the lead. I'm not sure what happened with the coming around the can there, but Broome have just dropped off a little bit. There seems to be a couple of crews who have had issues here. Scarborough's rowing off course at the moment, so...
Yeah, I think he's forgotten where he's heading, actually. Looks like he's heading back to Trigg.
Well, I hear Hillary's is nice to visit.
Yeah, and when Freo comes in, we might go and have a chat to him and see. I'll say it looks more like a crew injury. Someone's probably hurt themselves.
Yeah, they might need a bit of help. All right, now Broome hasn't given up. Oh, they're just...
Sitting on top.
Oh, this skate. Are they going to get it? Are they going to get it? Just dropped off.
And Northcott are just getting hit on the back here. Managed to hold it, though. Very unlucky. Broome, you can see the strength there. They were sitting on top. That takes a lot to sit on top there.
Well, they're almost trying to row through onto it.
Look at that. If they keep it up, they might get down that. Northcott look like they've just got enough here to get home.
Yeah, confident run. Northcott have taken the flag there. They've taken the win. We've got
Broome, a little bit of work to do running up the beach. And then we got Mullaloo Dirty Oars coming through. And you can hear the sweep on Mullaloo there yelling. Really motivating that bow person to run up. Good run, well done.
It always makes me nervous when I see a boat going side on, right on the beach, right on the waterline.
We've got one more heat of the open women now. So they'll just be getting ready.
It's just a quickie. What happened? Yeah, girl. Okay, it's pretty cruel to ask someone who's just jumped out of the boat and run hard to do a win. Can you introduce the name of your crew? Sorry, you're the Mac Attack, yeah?
Yeah, that's right. We're Northcott Mac Attack.
And talk us through coming from the can.
It's a bit choppy out there, but it's flattened a bit since the warm up. But it's a nice row home.
Did you feel like you had it all the way? It was yours in the bag, or what were you thinking?
After we got hit by a bit of the whitewash, we weren't too sure. I was looking out this side, so I wasn't really too sure what the rest of the field was doing.
And the run to the beach?
Yeah, that got me. That took the wind out of me a bit more.
The rowing was easy. It was just a sprint at the end.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Well done.
Thank you.
From where?
From the line.
Don't get me wrong, my angst is I want it to be an awesome day, right? There's...
Right, to bring this clear out the way and make sure the runners have the best chance of getting their boats. Flags up. Guns up.
Right, watching Dave Irwin run down to the Scarborough crew there. Running's probably not his strength, but certainly sweeping the boat. He's got a lot of experience of that.
Yeah, and Willow down the end there for Coogee. Just took his time, a nice little saunter down to hop in the boat. Very gentlemanlike.
Right, so over the far left, we've got the Coogee Beach Crabs, under 23. Scarborough Sunsets with Dave Irwin. North Cottesloe Critical Business have had a great start, and they're dominating out in the front there. And we got City over in the far right, the City G's, under 23, swept by Grant True. Okay, yeah, Northcott have really just got into their rhythm out there. The other crews, I think Dave's within sort of striking distance, but they're going to have a lot of work to do on this short course to catch up. He'll already be looking for what the water's doing as he goes out to give him an understanding of what he needs to do on the way back in and what he can chase. See if they can get a bit of assistance from the waves. Jump in anytime you like.
Northcott, Critical Business coming through. Jeff Hegarty, experienced sweep. You got Dave Irwin with the Sunsets there following nice and tight.
That's a tight turn there. It's interesting. Some are doing a bit of a lazy long turn, and Dave's turn was pretty tight there.
Yeah, and it makes a big difference, Matt. You'll see some of them come out. Obviously, they're trying to get around in 2 or 3 strokes. Sometimes they pop those oars out, and by trying to come out and start rowing a bit early, they end up actually rowing a bit longer, and they have to do a big, long arc. So it's a bit of a trade-off to make sure they're getting around nice and quick and make sure the rowers are rowing the shortest possible distance.
So if you're in Critical Business out in front, Mark, as a sweep, what are you telling your crew to do? Okay. Mark's otherwise occupied at the moment, trying to run the show as well. I'd be just saying, if I was a sweep, long and strong, and let's try and put that extra little bit of effort to get on the skates. And there's one right here. We'll see. Oh, I'm not sure if they're going to get on it. It's giving them help whether they're getting on it or not, and they're certainly chasing it hard. Now the boat drops off and the water
they're
gets
working hard.
heavy.
Scarborough's got a chance here. There's a bit of a swell coming through, so if they can row, they're not out of it yet. But Northcott certainly have a convincing lead there over the Scarborough Sunsets, followed by the Crabs from Coogee Beach, and then on the other side, on the blue and white, we have City, G's, and the under 23.
And Scarborough have got that wave that Mark was talking about. Now it just needs to hold straight. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, and he's certainly struggling a bit. He's popped it around. They'll let that come back around. Now the sweep will stand up again and put it back.
Oh, he hung on like a...
And you can see City over there as well, also found it a bit tough and gone sideways on that. And then you got Coogee Beach coming in on top of Scarborough here. Scarborough's coming back across,
from Northcott
and
there.
they should still be right for a decent second place now.
Northcott Critical Business, well done. And Dave sorted out the boat.
They'll be looking for the can, and Matty Elliott from the Scarborough Sunsets, good solid run up, make sure they claim second place.
Well done,
Coogee
Scarborough.
Beach coming through for a strong third there.
Nice,
and then
solid
City
support.
of Perth.
Sorry, mate. Nice, solid support for the rest of the club there as the girls grab the flag. Okay, we've got Meg from the Scarborough Beach Sunsets there. Came in second. Talk us through it. You had a bit of excitement towards the end there, Meg.
Yeah, it was a bit of a messy finish. We tried to catch a little bit of a wave, but got a caught bit on the side, had a little sideways slew, and then, yeah, it was all okay after that.
So what made it go sideways, Meg?
I'm not sure. I was just looking at my oar. I don't know.
We've got a common theme here. The rowers are not thinking, they're just doing. Yeah?
I just do what I'm told. Don't look, just do what I'm told.
And you've been, Dave Irwin's your sweep. You've been in his crew for a long time?
Well, Dave's just currently taken over the sweep for a little while our normal sweep Mark Owen's recovering.
Oh, right, so there might be a bit of...
Bit of sibling rivalry, yeah. Fighting for us.
All right, well done, Meg. That's great. Thank you. And the runners are off. Yeah, it is a long run. And threw a fair bit of water there as well for the city crew. But it looks like it's paid off. They've gotten out pretty clean. Northcott's had a good start as well. And poor old City of Perth, the City Phantoms over on the right-hand side, they've got a lot of ground to catch up. Fremantle over the left-hand side. So I'll walk you through the Fremantle Duffy Flux. Oh, with swept by Morris Vaughan. Who's this? Who's these guys?
Black.
City? SM, why City? No, not black. The red cap. Right. Okay, so lane one, we've got Fremantle, the Duffy Flux. Then we've got Swanbourne Nedlands, the Headless Oarsmen. City Beach, the Walruses. Then in lane 4, City Black. Lane 5, North Cottesloe, the boys with Dave Hunt. And over in lane 6, we've got City, the City Phantoms, who are struggling at the moment. They didn't get a great start. Getting off the beach was a bit of a challenge for them, so they're quite a long way off the pace. We've had the...
Hey, and you'll see Swanee come around in second there. Swanee will be excited today. That's the first run in their new boat. It's a Scarborough boat. They've actually redone the whole boat, refurbished it and resprayed it. So Kevin's done a great job with that, and I'm sure the Headless Oarsmen will be enjoying rowing their new boat.
And it's looking great, and they're looking great in it. Really, I think Swanbourne Nedlands and Northcott are the two leaders at the moment. All right, we got Northcott in lane 5. They're looking really strong. They're chasing something in the moment. Not sure that they'll catch it, but once again, it's giving them a bit of a hand. Nice and long and strong. They've got Swanbourne Nedlands, who haven't given up. They're wanting to stay in this. They want to make something of that new boat.
City Black coming through now, Matt, on a little bit of a run.
Here we go. Here goes Swanbourne. The Headless Oarsmen. What can they do here? Can they change it to their favour? Oh, they're rowing beautifully. Northcott of hard work of it right at the end. Oh, they're yelling at the bowman from Swannies.
He's got long legs. He'll be right. And then City Black running up. They're sending a couple of runners.
Strong second.
When you get the age of City Black, you need a backup runner just in case the hammy goes on the way up. And Fremantle off. And Coogee having a good run up here. I think Coogee might just get it on the run and then Freo just behind. Great run up there by the Coogee bowman. Now, I'm just over here with Bellman, is it, from Coogee? Tell us, mate, you know spring chicken. How does it feel rowing that 297 metres out and back and then having to finish it with a run?
Glad it's so fucking short, mate. Really happy.
Probably going to have to watch that time delay if we're interviewing rowers.
Okay, we've got Finn here from Swanbourne, the headless oarsman. How was it, mate?
Yeah, pretty knackering. Yeah, I'm stuffed.
Yeah, it's a tough ask to do an interview immediately after. Coming through the race, what were you thinking? Were you thinking you were in it?
Yeah, it was a shorter race. Thought we'd just give it 100% the whole way. Hit a bit of dead water on the way in, but yeah, the boys did good and ended up coming in, well, second, I think. Unsure yet.
Yeah, no, I can confirm it was second. Now, you've just had your boat, your beautiful Signet 9 has been refurbished. How did it feel?
Yes, these are newer boats. They're a bit more stable in the water. The old ones used to give us a bit of dramas, but these ones are going good. New purchases for Swanbourne Club, so yeah, really good to have them.
So it's a brand new boat, is it?
Not brand new, second hand, but still better than the ones we used to have.
Good on you. Thanks, Finn.
Right, we're just getting ready now for a start in Heat 2 of the Open Mail. We have a flag up. And the gun's up. You'll see some crews here starting a bit further out. They take the chance. The young bloke from Scarborough took a bit of a dive, but he's ready to go now. Obviously, they've got to run a bit further, but then they're 1 or 2 lengths in front for the start. So Northcott made the most of that, out for a really quick one. And Scarborough on their way out now too.
You haven't got the longest legs in the world, Mark, so what do you choose to do? Do you try and get out to the boat, or do you get the boat close to you?
Mate, much further than this 10 metres, I'd probably get the crew to run, but I've just got it covered on this short distance. I always prefer myself as a sweep to run down so the crews are fresh and they're committed to jump in the boat. It's always hard when you get your stroke or a 3-seat running down. They've got to settle themselves and get in the boat and get their breathing back.
And how do you call them into the boat? When do they make the decision to jump in the boat? Because obviously ideal if they do that simultaneously, but what do you do as a sweep? When do you call them in?
Yeah, so you should, as a sweep, you loud tap on the boat. Normally, for myself, I make sure I give the tank a good whack. That way they know I'm about to call in. They're pretty well simultaneous, so as soon as you hit the boat, you're calling your crew in. The only reason you wouldn't is maybe if there was a wave coming in or you didn't have enough water, and then you might just hold it for a few seconds.
All right, running through, we've got the City Walks in lane 1. Fremantle, Who Dies in lane 2. Lane 3, we've got the...
Yeah, and Matt, a couple of crews here. Northcott Jackals over there, the under-19s, off to a cracker start. And then the Scarborough Sharks next to them. It's worth noting they're both under-19 crews. So just the young fellas up in the open men's division, and they're both showing the experienced rowers how to do it today.
And are we seeing a lot of that young talent coming through early, Mark?
Yeah, well, as you'll see, there's a big mix of ages across here. You'll see some of the crews are probably masters in other divisions, so there might be 50-year-olds. And then we go right through to these under-19s, which, again, we might have 16, 17-year-old young fellas in these boats. But it doesn't mean they can't row. If you have a look at the size of them, they're pretty big fellas, and they can certainly pull an oar.
Yeah, and the Jackals haven't let up. They're still rowing really well over there, that under-19 Northcott Jackals. Looking strong. Fremantle's made a bit of a comeback here. Who Dis swept by Darren Miller. Doing a good job there, and they'll be in the mix.
Yeah, and then we're bookended here. We got the City Walks on the red and yellow, and then at the other end we got the City Barebacks. These crews have been around, and you'll see City Barebacks there, a little swell lifting underneath them. They'll hopefully come through on this. I'm sure the sweep's calling them up now, and you might see them catch Northcott here, although Northcott do have a fairly decent lead.
Oh, the Northcott Jackals really put in a bit of something extra there. They put in the nitrous oxide burst, I think. Oh, there's good battle over here on the left-hand side as well. Fremantle's coming in. They've pulled away from City.
I'll tell you where else you'll notice it, Matt, is those young legs running up the beach. No slowing up there. Straight out and up the beach. Other City crew got stuck up there. We've got Freo running up for a good second, I think. Then we'll have the City Barebacks coming through in third and the City Woks in fourth.
We notice on the beach sometimes it's really handy for your club mates to actually let you know where the flag is. You jump out of the boat, your brain's cooked, and I think we've discovered from speaking to the boaties today, they're not actually thinking that much anyway. And they jump out of the boat and they know they've got to run somewhere, and it sort of helps if someone's letting them know which flag to go for.
Yeah, and you'll notice there is a bit of a crowd down here on the beach getting excited. They want to get involved in the racing and have a look, and sometimes that can be confusing as you jump out. But they certainly, you see the crews, their sewing colour hats getting around the flag and make sure they know where to run to. So coming up next, Matt, is Heat 3 of the Open Mail. It's the last heat in the first round. Then we go on to round 2 of racing, straight into it. So those open female rowers will be getting ready again. They'll be having a drink now. They might even be doing their warm-up runs, normally a race early, and just getting their heads in the game, ready for the next race.
Yeah, because otherwise it's just, by the time I get someone, it's actually time to go again. Yeah, good idea. Right, conditions really haven't changed down here yet. I believe by about 11 o'clock, there's sort of a gentle sou'wester will start up. And until then, it really should stay pretty much the same. It's been exciting racing so far. Yeah, it's just seagulls, Scarborough seagulls. Yeah, Scarborough seagulls, yeah. Okay, so in lane 2, we've got the Scarborough Seagulls with Dave Irwin. Sorry, flags up.
Guns up.
And they're off. Well, I tell you what, the Freo sweep loves to run down there. He's almost always the first. Sorry, not the sweep. We had the stroke running there. And Fremantle have had a great start.
Yeah, and you see over on the end there on the black can, Scarborough lost an oar out the start. That can be a problem. So you see a lot of the crews here have something holding the oars in. They might have across called a gate. They might have a bit of elastic or tape just holding the oar in to make sure it doesn't pop out. But that can make a big difference because it takes a few seconds to get that oar back in and get underway.
And why does that happen, Mark?
It's normally just when the boats, when you call in, and it might be one side leans down so it pops the boat up, so the gunnel goes up on one side. That can be enough sometimes to pop it out. Or it might just be the rower not keeping enough attentiveness on their oar and a bit of water hits it.
So you've got one job?
Yes, that's exactly right. You row one job, keep your oar in the rollick and jump in the boat.
Hey, Hawkeye. Yeah, good. I'm just trying to... No, I'm not listening now, Steve. No, thanks. Okay. We're at the can there, and the Mullaloo mid-rigs are under 19 boys again. This race has basically mostly under 19s or under 23, so this is a bit of a young guns race. We've got the Scarborough Seagulls out on the left-hand side that I believe are the more mature variety of surfboat rowers. But in the middle, we've got Northcott Wolverines, under 23s, rowing quite nicely. And it looks like the main competition there is with Mullaloo under 23s out in the front. So keep your eyes on this race. I reckon this is going to be one of our closer ones. Right, from the beach, it's hard to tell. Is it Mullaloo or Northcott? Neck and neck. They're starting to come into the zone where they should be able to pick something up. Northcott, I think, have just taken the ascendancy a little bit, but right at this stage of the race, where you can get a bit of a run off a skate, you can't rely on rest on your laurels. Here they go. Northcott are pulling through now, but they've missed that one. That gives Mullaloo a red hot chance. there's a little something here for them.
And Mullaloo, the mid-sized rigs, I don't know, what do you reckon that means, Matt? Do you
I
reckon
don't know what there must be a big rig around somewhere. Right, Northcote dealt with that challenge really well. They've got their clubman saying, this is where it is. Come this way. She's waving the flag, and he snatched the flag. Well done. Taking the win. Oh, Mullaloo's putting on a little athletic display. Looked like a bit of parkour there, and he's taken the second flag. Well done, Mullaloo. Great race.
And I've just been informed, Matt, the reason they're called the mid-sized rigs is half the fellas in that crew are from the under-19 big rigs crew.
Right, okay. I wonder what big rig looks like.
I'd say it's a bunch of young blokes who rate themselves.
Right, okay. So Northcote won that one. Let's see if we can get it. Can I interview one of your boys? This one? No, this one? Right, if you can just come up. Come up here. What's your name, mate? Okay, we've got Geordie from the Northcote Wolverines here. They just had a sensational row and came in first. Geordie, talk us through the race.
Yeah, it was a terrific row by the boys, to be honest. Got a clean start, which was important, and then a nice crisp turn, which is exactly what we were after. So, yeah.
Okay, so where did you start your rowing journey?
I started under 19s. I think I was 17 years old. And my uncle just pulled me into it, so then I had to pull another 3 boys into it, and so we started a crew, yeah.
So you didn't start in river, you were just a classic good old boatie?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Were you in surf before that?
No, that was my first time in surf, and yeah, it was good.
Fantastic. Now give us the reason behind Wolverines, your name.
Oh, we wanted the Wolf Pack, but that was taken by another under Northcote team, so Wolverines was the next best thing, I guess.
Near enough's good enough with your name. Well, you just won that one, so well done. Cheers, Geordie. Okay, we're missing a crew, so we're just waiting for Coogee. Yeah, Coogee are coming, sorting themselves out. So that's why this start has been a bit delayed. It's been rapid fire here at the beach. I've never seen such a well-run carnival with such short turnarounds. It's been awesome. So Coogee are just setting themselves up there. They're in lane 5. So they've just got to sneak on the shore side of North Cottesloe, though, get themselves in there, and then we'll be ready to go. There's always a lot going on the beach. Something I'd just like to give a shout out to all the officials who help out with these events and make things happen. They're all volunteers and they're just doing it out of the goodness of their heart, basically, and making these amazing events run. So shout out to all the volunteers and officials. Thanks very much for all your hard work making this possible. Now, it looks like Coogee are pretty much sorted. They're getting close. They're just sorting their oars out. You can't row a boat without oars, so you need to make sure they're ready to go. Right, we're seeing that Sereno have parked their boat well in the water. The sweep managed to get clean down to it, and they've got a length. So that looks like a really good strategy today. Get the boat as far in the water and get your sweep to the boat. Don't make it easy for the sweep. Make it easy for the rowers. Now, Coogee have just had a bit of it. They've gone a bit sideways. And he managed to pull it straight, bow straight into the wave. That's how you want the boat. You hit it sideways and you're in deep trouble. Right, they've all managed to get off. I'd say Scarborough in lane 3 and Northcott, critical business over on the far right, lane 6. Probably had the best starts. And Sorrento is settling into a nice rhythm there as well. Now, rowing, doesn't matter whether you're in the river or in surf boats. Once you get out beyond the break, rowing's all about length, strength, and timing. And once the water settles down, that's where you can really get your length in. Make sure you get a full bite of the water and really power through each stroke with perfect timing. It's different surf. You keep an eye on the blade to make sure that you get a clean entry in the water and you're aware of what's coming next. It's completely dynamic. And you just get into that bit of a rhythm now. Sereno have taken what I'd say a fairly sort of wide, lazy turn. We'll see how they come out of that. Northcott have gone around the can first, over on the far right. Where have you been all my life, Mark?
Just checking out the other end of the beach. Look, it's good viewing up there. It was interesting. I heard you calling the start there, and it was certainly made a difference. Sorrento in the middle. Extra few steps in the boat, but they had that length on the start.
Yeah, full length on the start. You gotta love that.
Yeah, Northcott obviously doing really well up on the yellow can now, coming home strong. Quality crew there, critical business. Sounds like they mean business today, Matt.
Now, Mark, we've talked about you being a sweep, but once upon a time you used to be a rower. What does it do for you when you're a rower and all you're doing is looking at your oar and you can't see anyone else and you know you're in front? What does that do for your sort of energy levels?
Yeah, it's pretty tough, especially on this short racing. There's no chance to really get in the rhythm, but you will see them start to turn around. The sweep will be telling them to keep an eye on their oar, don't mess up, and you'll definitely see bowside on the way home there on the Northcott. They'll be swinging their head around to try to check where the competition is. It really helps to motivate you and get that extra lift.
Yeah, and no, Northcott, critical business. I'm tempted just to call them the business. They've done a great job there and really nowhere near them.
No. We'll make mention here of Sorrento coming in. This is Luke Ferry on the back here. Luke's a new sweep. He's been doing really well this year. His first real season in the boat, but he started with the endurance row early in the season. He's been coaching this women's crew. They're doing really well this season, and Luke's doing a great job as a new sweep, keeping that boat straight. Big run here. Dana from the Scarborough Shutters having a good run up.
Mulaloo. Going sideways.
Yep.
Now, is that because they know they need to turn the boat around for the next race, or?
Yeah. Normally it's not intentional when they do turn around, Matt. Sometimes they do. You might see if they're trying to get a bow, they might slew one way slightly to try to give that bowman a bit better chance to get up the beach. But normally it doesn't end up helping, and if you go too far around it can certainly send the boat sideways.
Is Jess Knox? If Jess Knox can come and have a chat?
Yes, you'll just see her down there on the bow of the Scarborough
thanks,
boat.
Mark.
A lot of action down on the shoreline now. They're getting their boats in position. Some of the clubs are obviously sharing boats between a couple of crews, or they might just have to change alleys down a couple. Some of the clubs you'll see with a few boats on the beach will be operating a boat out of each alley, Matt, so they'll that way they know they don't have to turn it around, so that they'll share the boats amongst all the different crews.
I got to say, it's hard for the competitors sometimes. I notice as they're jumping out of the boats, they're basically having to navigate a fleet of surf boats, and you probably can't even see the flag, let alone and maybe do a hurdle over some of the boats.
Yeah, as you said before, they're really relying on their teammates up on the shore here, waving their arms, calling out their crew name, making sure they know where to run. But it's all about that making sure they line up on the can correctly so they don't have a big run up the beach.
I had someone lined up, but she didn't come. She went off the crew.
All right, we've now got heat 2 of the open female getting ready for a start. You've got the 5 boats lined up.
Right, lane 2, we've got the Northcott Jills, under 23s. Lane 3, City, Roosters.
Guns up.
Thanks for that, Mark. Northcott Young Guns. We see Dave Hunt flying through the surf. He wants to get that boat out there. They're in, and yes, they've got a length. That's definitely the way to start.
Yep, Scarborough hot on their heels there, and then Northcott Jills, the under 23s, down with Clarkey on the black can.
Yeah, Scarborough got a good start. Dave Irwin's legs aren't too short, so they can't go out too far.
Yeah, and you notice, I think Dave's caught it on the running down, and he had Yasmin there from the stroke seat running down. It's important to note here, Northcott out in the middle there in red. They're the young guns, the under 19. This is a quality crew. We've seen them doing really well at carnivals to date this year. Dave Hunt's an experienced sweep, knows how to get the most out of his crews. And you can see those nice long strokes for a young female crew. I'd say some of those girls have probably done a bit of rowing in the river, Matt. They certainly look quality.
All right, so yeah, we've got Northcott and Scarborough out there in front. Scarborough looks like they've come up on them a bit. We'll watch them turn around the can. Often from the beach, that's one of the easiest ways to see how the race is going. It's a bit hard to sort of spot it from the beach.
Yeah, as we come up into the turn, it's a good time to see how everyone's going here. And in the middle, Northcott Young Guns.
It's very close.
Yeah, and you can see on the left-hand side there, the Northcott under 23 certainly had a good row out. It's all pretty tight racing here. The Sunsets are around as well. Dave's gone a bit wide on the turn there, and that might cost him as he comes.
Yeah, the Jills over in lane 2 have done pretty well as well. So both the Northcott crews are looking strong. I'd say the Young Guns are in the lead. Unfortunately, that wide turn might have given the Sunsets a bit of catching up, but look, they certainly haven't dropped off. They look in pretty good shape, actually.
They do, and that sort of turn can cost you a length, so they'll be annoyed with themselves, and hopefully they can get their rhythm back and make sure it doesn't affect them on the way home. But they look like they're right up there with the 2 Northcott crews there.
Yeah, I'd say they might have somehow got in front. Could it have been that Dave saw something that he was chasing?
Yeah, no, it didn't look like it.
Well, he's right, sitting on a skate here. Scarborough's sitting on a skate, and they are clearly...
They've run up. They're going through those Northcott Young Guns. The Jills on the end here are certainly still looking strong. But as we've seen before, there's still a little bit of movement in the water, and that's enough for any of these crews still to be in the race. Those top 3 crews there. And even on the side, you see City Bonitas. They're not out of it. John Levers certainly knows how to find a run. And you can see there they're lifting, trying to get down that little one. The Sunsets are gone. They look like they might have gone out to a lead. And if they get this through to the beach, a good run up the beach.
This is going to be neck and neck. Scarborough have got something. Northcott have got something. We've got 3 crews. Ooh, the Jills have just dropped off that a little.
Yeah, and some of this can come down to a bit of luck where the swell is too, Matt. Whoever gets a run at the time, the bow down, get that back lifting up. But Sunset still look like they might have a slight lead here. Maddie's out, and she's off. Northcott, Young Guns are running up too. It's going to come down to the run. Let's see how we go. Northcott look like they might get it on the run here. Yep. Scarborough and then Northcott Jills. Great finish. That's what we love to see. And that's what short course is all about, Matt. Nice, short, hard racing and close finishes.
Yeah, and you talk about luck. Scarborough athlete jumped out of the water and just happened to jump into deep water. She thought it was shallow, jumped into deep water and tripped over, and that sort of upset her rhythm.
Yeah, and you will notice, you'll see a pattern today. The young crews, the under-19 crews, male and female, when they get out the boat, they don't seem to be tired. They really can. They got energy to burn, and you notice it on the run up the beach.
Oh, there you are. Yeah, come and join the fun, mate.
Matt, Matt, I'm just over here with Rod Bennett. Now, Rod Bennett's sweeping at Trigg these days, but he's well known along the coastline as one of the 1984 Australian champion crew from Trigg Island. Still one of my favourite races of all time to watch on YouTube. If anyone hasn't watched it yet, Google 1984 Australian champions Trigg Island Surf Lifesaving Club. Fantastic race, old style rowing. Those heads are getting thrown around. There's plenty of energy. Rod, what made you transition to sweeping? What do you love about rowing?
I love every aspect of rowing, and thanks for bringing up 1984. It was a very good year.
If anyone on the beach wants to use up about 15 minutes of their time, come and ask Rod what happened in 1984. He'd love to talk you through every stroke of the race. Rod, tell us about your comeback. You boys made a bit of a comeback a couple of years ago.
We've had a couple of goes at coming back for the Masters, and we went over in 2010 to Kurrawa and the big surf, and made the final, broke 2 sweep oars, and another story for another day.
And since you've been sweeping, how many sweep oars have you broken, Rod?
Oh, I've only done it two sweep oars, but haven't had a rollover yet, so I call myself in front.
And some of you might also remember Rod famously did the candlestick last year, one of the best surf boat stacks I've seen. Sweep oar sticking straight up in the air as that nose went into the sandbank. Yeah, if you're not rowing, guys, if we can just get you to clear back, it's just hard to see. Some of the crews are finding it hard to find their flags. And the starters finding it hard to see which crews are in the water. Yep.
Yeah, much better.
Flags up. And the gun's up for a start. And they're off. It's great to see Bunbury back into the racing this season over on the black can. The Trigg Wipeouts in the middle there. City Grant True's crew off to a great start. And Scarborough Storm on the yellow can. This stage, it's a clear lead. City G's, the under-23 crew out. Nice clear lead. It's up to the other crews now to do a bit of work and catch them. Bunbury copping a little stopper there, and so did the Trigg Wipeout. That'll make a difference. That's given them the other crews about a length on them. And again, they're going to have to row back in and get their rhythm now. But certainly the City crew still looking strong over there. Scarborough Storm's doing well over there too on the yellow can. And they look like they're rowing right up next to City here. So this could be a good close race.
Is she going to race again? Or? Okay, so we've only got 4 crews in this particular race. Unfortunately, you noticed before one of the Fremantle ladies' crews, the Ferrells, the under-19s, unfortunately one of the young ladies hurt her shoulder. We saw them sort of stop in the middle of the race, and they've had to scratch from this. But we've got the City G's turning the can now, and I think closely followed by Scarborough. Scarborough are just starting to turn the can now as well. So City G's under-23s looking pretty well placed at the moment, but it's a close race across the board. We've got Bunbury over on the far lane 2 and Trigg Wipeouts in lane 3, not too far behind. City G's are asserting themselves a little bit, but Scarborough out there, swept by Brendan Doyle. I think Mark mentioned before, he's was a rower that's come to the world of sweeping. So he'll be familiar with the heat of the battle out there, and he'll know what they need to do to catch up. The City G's are looking nice and strong there. They were just chasing a little bit that they've rolled off the back of now. And it's always when you've just rolled off, I think, that how you respond to rolling off the back is often the difference between, winning or coming second or third. It's often the difference with a place. If you put in the hard work, when it gets really heavy and hard, and here we go, they're just catching that one now. Yes, they've got it.
Yeah, and you can see they dropped down there. You can see that nosedive down. Grant did well to hold that. It's not a huge wave, but it's actually trickier than it looks. You do lose a bit of traction as that nosedives in. Obviously, you're dealing with about 20-odd feet of boat there.
Yeah, and they're just clipping along, just keeping that momentum going there. They've just used that water to best effect, haven't they?
Yeah, and you can see Scarborough just doing a little turn there. They straightened back up, so they'll be all right now. Following through, they'll be chasing down the wipeouts, but it looks like Trig wipeouts should come through. These girls are doing really good. They've been around for a couple of years now, and they're getting better each year.
Right, now it's the run up the beach. There was no wipeout there, but it's going to take a clean run up the beach. The Scarborough competitor's looking pretty keen over there. And she takes a flag.
Good strong finish, and then Bunbury rounding it off here. Good solid run by the bowman up to finish that round off.
So, Mark, I noticed some of the crews wearing helmets here and others are not. What's the go with that?
Yeah, so days like today, helmets are not compulsory, Matt. As you can see, the surf conditions aren't dangerous, but we certainly assess it at the start of the carnival. And if we're concerned, then we do make helmets mandatory for the racing.
Can you go the other side?
Okay, we've got Jessica Knox here from Scarborough Beach. So, Jess has been around for a while. Can you talk us through your surfboat career?
Yeah, so I started on the south coast of New South Wales in a little club called Maruya, and then had the opportunity with work to come over to WA, and that's where I really took it more seriously. Started when I was 17, and I raced in the trial race for under-23 women's and the inaugural under-23 women's state title here in WA. So, and yeah, as you can tell, I've been rowing a very long time.
Oh, we weren't going to talk about age or anything like that, Jess, but so, I believe you've had a bit of a break from rowing for various reasons. We're celebrating, we've recently celebrated 50 years women in surf. Can you talk us through why you've had breaks over your career?
Yeah, having babies. So met my husband rowing surf boats as well, and I had 2 children. First one I had probably 12, 15 months off, and the second one came back after 4 months. So I think it's like riding a bike. Once you've done it for a while, you can keep going.
How did you feel coming back after, it's physically, it changes your body, So what was it like coming back to rowing after having your kids?
Yeah, it was great for the camaraderie side of it, obviously one of the reasons I do it, but tummy muscles weren't quite as strong anymore, so there was a fair bit of work that needed to go into building up the core strength again. But really exciting to be able to get back out and show the kids that mum can do it. So.
Absolutely. Thanks so much, Jess.
Okay, we've got City Pina Coladas on the black, Northcott Macattack green and white, Scarborough Surfers under-19 crew on the red, and, of course, the famous Broome Heat over on the blue and white. Flags up. Guns up. And you see Broome have opted to start out a bit further. Let's see how Pete goes. Does all right for his age, old Pete there. And away. And you can see again, that's made a difference. They've got that length, if they can hold that. Scarborough's off nice and quick as well, and they'll chase them down. Let's see how they go through this small break.
And you're talking about Broome being some really accomplished rowers, and it's no mistake. It's the second race, and they've just gone back in, and, they're probably leading at this stage.
Yeah, and obviously they got a bit of a challenge because they're training up north. There's a little one, and you can see they powered through that. And you see, for example, the under-19 crew from Scarborough there really got stopped, whereas Broome sort of powered through. And you can see that water now piling out the side of their boat as they got those pumps on. So they've obviously taken a bit of water on that. But yeah, they've got a challenge up there, competing all the time with these crews. So that's why they do make the effort to come down. Otherwise, they get to things like state championships, or they might want to travel to the Australian championships, and they just haven't got any competition racing under their belt. So it's important they make that trip.
And how do you get used to the waves? Like, if there are no waves, how do you get used to them?
Yeah, don't be surprised. Broome still puts on a little one every now and then. You can see that hit to the surf vets there from Scarborough really made a difference, though, so they got some work to do now. They got about 2 or 3 lengths they've dropped off. Northcott Macatac look like they're rowing out to a nice lead there in green and white, though. And we'll watch the turn, and we'll see who comes around first. Right, Northcott getting their angle there, coming around nicely. You see Broome starting to swing around too. They're probably about half a length behind. Northcott coming out of it now, nice and tight, and Broome going around. And then right on the left there, you see those City Penal Coladas now going in for their turn in third place.
Yeah, we saw Northcott Macatac have a strong race in one of their other races, and they've just kept that form going. Really nice and strong through there. Blade works looks nice and clean. Clean bites to the water.
Yeah, and one of the things you will see with the Northcott crews today, there's a lot of depth in their club. It's great that they've got the youth coming through, so they've got those under-19 crews, the under-23 crews, and they're obviously pushing for their spots too. So it doesn't mean they don't want a spot in that open crew, but they'll keep pushing up, and it just makes them faster.
So where do you think that depth comes from? How have Northcott sort of managed to achieve that sort of depth in the surf boat program?
Well, we're going to meet the great man, Derek Knox himself, but there's certainly some quality rowers. It's no secret the J Crew, one of the most famous crews in Australia. They've certainly had the successes in the past, but they have a great recruiting program. They work well with some of the schools as well to make sure they get those river rowers down, but then they offer some real quality and organised training programs, and that's important too, because once those rowers get there, they want to know they've got the coaching staff to make sure that they can get the best out of them.
Yeah, it's one thing to get them there, but then you've got to keep them there. And like you say, having a great program, great coaching, and good equipment for them to use as well is what keeps them there, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think we all talk about sport and being fun, and obviously there's a fun element to it. But let's face it, everyone loves to win, and with success, it certainly breeds a strong rowing program. And Northcott coming through to a convincing win there.
Yeah, same result from last time. We had the Macatac from Northcott come in, and then Broome Heat come in second.
Yep. Now I'm going to hand over the commentating for a little while here to Derek Knox. Derek Knox, one of the representatives from the J Crew, 2 Australian Championships, Hall of Famer, I think, was it 4 Australian Championships? Was there anything the Northcott J Crew didn't do? I know dominant for many years, and we're looking forward to hearing from the great man himself today.
One of the kindest introductions I've ever had, thanks Mark. But good to be down at Scarborough Beach. Plenty of great memories. So good day for the crews to see how well they do today, and obviously the short course, different format. But I love the way that's just the crews are flicking through, and we're getting some good racing done.
Yeah, and I was mentioning before about the coaching program at Northcott, Derek, but one of the things, it's no secret, you're a humble man. You are a humble man, but many of us look up to you. We really think not only a quality rower, but you're a quality person. You spend a lot of time assisting other clubs, and I know you're generous with your time and the knowledge that comes from the experience of those years rowing under the great Jack Ellis and the other sweeps, Meadmore, I believe it was.
Not Meadmore, it was all under Jack, but we were lucky enough to have some quality rowers out of river, and from the riverboat road rowing, we had some, I guess, a balance between surf and river, and unfortunately or fortunately, I was the only one from surf, and the purest of surf. The others came from river, but they taught us all how to row, but we also had to teach them how to do well in the surf. So it was a good balance, but great times, and as I said before, Scarborough, some great memories here.
Yeah, and those watching on the live stream might notice that Derek's quite a bit taller than me. I'm not the tallest bloke in the world, but interestingly, you're probably one of the shortest in the J Crew when you're rowing, Derek.
Certainly am. We, I think it was reflected at an awards night where we all had to go stand up, and I was the little kid on the block, so I'm coming in at 6'2", and the others coming at 6'6", 6'7". So it wasn't until I went to the bathroom, some guy looked at me and looked up and said, "My God, I didn't believe how tall I am," but I should have said, come and meet the crew. But we're a big, lanky bunch, long strokes, and the short course does work for us a little bit, but the longer the better for us when we raced.
Yeah, and one of the things I like about the short course, Derek, is it's whilst you can't make up if you lose it, it really makes you sharpen up your skills, because you can't afford to miss a stroke, you can't afford to miss your starts, you can't afford to miss a turn. But we're going to look forward. We're about to go to the open male round now, Heat 1, and we're looking forward to your insight as we watch through these open male racing coming up.
Rightio. So, yeah, heat. This one. Yeah. So, Coogee Beach in lane 1, we've got Coogee Beach Walruses. Lane 2, we've got the mid-size rigs again, under 19s. Lane 3, Fremantle, Who Dis. Lane 4, Northcott, Wolverines. Then City Black, City Beach. And Scarborough. Scarborough Sharks over there on the far right.
And it's good to see the City Black. They've been here since 1912, still out in front, still rowing nice and strong. And as you can see, you don't have to be the youngest or the fittest. You just have good timing. So well done to the City Black crew getting off the beach. Let's just see how they go out to sea here. It is a shorter course. It's very similar to Ocean Thunder, so it's a proven fact that crews go to Ocean Thunder do really well at Australian titles and ASRL. So it is a similar format. Sometimes it's double races, and you'll be doing maybe 10 to 12 of these in one day against hot competition. And like it is today, it's pretty close.
And what do you prefer, Noxie? Do you prefer the short course or the long course?
I'm a short course man. 30 strokes is enough, and then I'm out of gas these days. But no, during days it didn't actually worry me. The short course was definitely more intense because you had crews sitting next to you and you had to be comfortable and crews sitting next to you, but then have enough in the tank just to spurt it on towards the end to get the wave in front.
And we've interviewed a couple of rowers today, and a common theme is that they don't seem to think too much about the race. What about yourself in the race? Like, what are you thinking on the short course?
Definitely a thinker. Whoever makes the least mistakes wins. So if I can do my job well, and then the crew can do their part of the role well and minimise mistakes, including the sweep, you're generally in the front of the pack.
Yeah, and I guess that's a fair thing to call out, that the rowers are saying I'm not thinking much, but actually what it is, they're not thinking about anything outside of the boat. They're just thinking about what they're doing.
Correct. It's the next stroke, not the next meal, which I'm sure a lot of these rowers after the short course today will be hungry and maybe a little bit thirsty.
I think that's one of the great things about rowing is they talk these days about being present and, being in the space that you're in at the time. Rowing a surf boat, particularly when you're about to catch a wave, you've got to be present.
Yeah, exactly. And coming back to the City Black crew, the old dogs out there, well done, just over that nice little crest onto a bit of a shallow bank. So well done to the sweep on that one. But the clear wave ahead, I think we can put a 1 next to them.
I wonder how the old dogs will go with the run, though. Is that going to be their challenge?
I think the Zimmer frame's just coming out, and Shane's onto it, and there he goes.
Oh, yeah, and the Zimmer frame's been required. It's a bit of an amble.
Well done, City Black. Looking at second place getters, looking at Fremantle and Mullaloo.
Now, Mullaloo's showing what a run looks like.
Well done, Mullaloo. Northcott a little bit off course, maybe into third. Too hard to call with Fremantle.
Yeah, close between Northcott and Freo. That last-minute desperation for the flag. It's great to see the racer come out in the blokes.
It is. When you do come in, you obviously can't see your flag, so a good hint for the sweeps who don't know this maybe is point to where your flag is and once you get close to the shore, so whether it's your bow or your second bow to get out of the boat, they know where to run. You don't want to get out and try and find your flag once you're on the beach.
So, Noxie, Mark, when he introduced you, sort of talked about your fabulous rowing career. How did you get into it in the first place?
Funny that. I actually started at Triggs. I completed a sports science degree many, many years ago, and one of my prac was to do a sporting team. So everyone was doing AFL and rugby and everything in between. So I decided to do surf boats. I was playing actually a hockey background with National Hockey League till I was about 28, and always started surf boat rowing, but then told them that I couldn't complete the season because the National Hockey League was in summer. It wasn't until 1998, 1999 I was down at Cottesloe and just started to row, and lucky enough first year with COP we went across, and with Dave Hunt and I think a few other crew here that we won a silver. So
it started as an affair with surf boats and then turned into a full-blown relationship.
Yeah, and married and 2 kids now. So it's been very successful, obviously, in the boat and off the boat. And it's a great family life and great experience for everyone.
Okay, we've got the next race just about to kick off.
We do.
Over in lane 1, we've got the Scarborough Seagulls just still getting their boat in the water. Northcott, the boys.
The boys.
They're going to. Oh, you know the boys, do you?
I know the boys. Go the boys.
Yeah, they're going to come and have a chat to us, I believe. And then Fremantle have kindly called themselves the Duffy Flux.
I think we're going straight to the starter.
And I missed you there. Sorry. Okay, they're lane 4. We've got Cottesloe, the Muppets. They don't look like Muppets. They look like they're getting going. They're in the boat. And over on lane 6, we got the City Walks.
Yeah, I'm not sure where Northcote Postal are. Are they?
Sorry?
Postal's out. Apparently, Postals are out. They're.
Oh, yeah, I've got it straight behind the Noxie has.
Notice Northcote off to a good start again. It comes back to the start. I think they started about 1 or 2 boat lengths out, which you can do in this competition. It's got a lot to do with the agile sweep or maybe an agile stroke who's able to climb the water and get in the boat quickly. So definitely an advantage. If you do this type of racing in the East Coast, you'll find all crews trying to crib and try and get as far out as they can.
So making the decision between the sweep does the run or the stroke, I mean, obviously it's ideal for the stroke to be ready to go with the rest of the crew. How do you make that decision?
I think the decision is made on behalf of the sweep, whether the sweep is maybe going to take a couple of days to get down to the boat, or generally, and as you see, top A-grade crews generally have really light sweeps. Lyle Clark, Bryce Munro, Jack Patterson, even Jack Ellis in his day was reasonably light and nimble over the sand, but definitely a massive advantage to have a light and quick sweep who's athletic.
So you mentioned, the boys before, and they're actually a long way in front at the moment. They're well on the way in.
Yeah, you don't have a lot of time to settle in, get your rhythm, but the boys are coming in. They've got nice long strokes. They're just milking a little runner here and there. They're still sitting about 80%, I reckon. They've got a bit of left in the tank, and just to press down whenever the stern starts to rise a little bit. As you can see, the bow's rising, and that now they'll put on a few strokes now and then just come down that one. I think they might turn it off after this.
You mentioned 80% on this short course. Is there ever a point where you're far enough in front that you feel like you can relax?
No, I'd say you race it as far as you can. We had the saying, if we did race on the East Coast, ride all the way home to Perth. It's not over till it's over. And I guess when the boys come in here...
And City over the far
on the right side, you don't know.
Okay. Yeah, City got a nice one. They've gone a little bit sideways now, though. He's got a bit of work to do to straighten up here.
Oh.
There's going to be Cottesloe. They're going to have to be careful here.
They will.
In the meantime, the boys have out the boat. I believe that's Darcy. We've spoken to Darcy earlier, and he's just confidently grabbed the flag.
Yeah,
Fortunately, City sorted their business out there.
They are, and here comes the second place to City. Out they hop. Whoops, a sweep falling out for Cott. Someone needs to run for Cott. That's why it's generally good to have 2 runners running up. But they should secure the 3rd spot. With Fremantle in 4th. I'd say, maybe not. Yes, Fremantle 4th, I'd say. But that's up to the judges. Well done all.
Hey, mate, any chance of doing an interview?
Yeah.
In a minute.
I don't have any words.
That's all right. I'm just going to be standing... Oh, yeah, and you're going to come. So, Jack? Right, so you're the Duffy Flux.
That's right.
Thanks for that.
No worries.
And your name?
Nick.
Yeah, Nick, Matt.
G'day, Matt. How are you?
What's the team?
Okay, I have to be careful here.
Fremantle Duffy Flux.
Yeah. Okay, we've got Nick from the Fremantle Duffy Flux. Nick, it doesn't look like it was your first rodeo. How was that?
No, it wasn't. I've been around a few years, yeah, but it was exhausting. I normally sweep.
Oh, right, okay. So they made you run for the flag at the end.
Yeah, I started off in 3-seat and then they forced me to row bow, so plus I had to run.
Okay, so hang on, you're a sweep that is in 3-seat and then you bow. What's going on there?
Yeah, and I normally row stroke whenever I row, so yeah. We just had to fill in crews today, so we made up a make-up crew. We got 2 guys who are first-year rowers, so it's just a bit of fun for us. Fantastic conditions and excellent competing, so yeah.
Well, for a make-up crew, that looked like a pretty good result. You did a good job there.
Yeah, they've learnt really quickly. Our stroke is from our A crew, so he's excellent. The other 2 guys in 2 and 3 seat, yeah, first year, and they're able to compete in these conditions. So it's great they come on so fast, yeah.
Good on you, Nick. Thanks for your time.
Thank you, Matt. Gathering a bit of shade up the top here with the kids. But here we go, round 3. We have City Drafts, City Barebacks in Alley 2. We've got Fremantle Madfish in Alley 3. Harvey, you cannot have my microphone, buddy. And Swanball and Headless Oarsman in Lane 4. City Phantoms in Alley 6. And the Jackals, Northcott, Alley 6. Great start by the City Barebacks. They're off, they're out. And as you can see, they're just chipping away at this short stuff. Sitting tall, finishing strong. If they get checked, they're in control of their boat. Over a bit of a rise. Has checked them a little bit, but I think they've got enough momentum to continue chipping away. They're all finishing quite well. There's not much rush or panic, and off they go. But let's look at Fremantle, the Fluffy Ducks in Alley 3. Middle of the field, the middle of the lanes, and they're out in front. So I've noticed Jasmine coming back from Victoria, and she's our starter for today. Well, I think we should go and have a quick chat to her very soon. We're on to you. If I'm in, you're in. But great starting. But back to the racing for now. We've had a change. City Phantoms have turned the. We're going to check a few blades with the other crew going out. A bit of a wide turn by them. And this is the important thing of having that really tight turn. And I guess in the last sort of 5-10 years, you've had the sweep come down the boat and grab hold of the stroke saw just to get a bit more leverage, a bit more pivot on that. But I think looking from here, Matt, the Fremantle,
the Madfish,
they're out in front. They're doing well.
Yeah, I reckon this is going to be a close one. We've got the City Fan. We've got a chopper above us as well. Hello, Westpac chopper. We've got the Fremantle Madfish. They're looking good. We've got City Phantoms and over on the far right, the Northcott Jackals as well. Yeah. I reckon it's in fact, I'm looking back at the City Barebacks as well, and I reckon this is a 4-boat race.
Here we go. I think we've got 3 on this wave coming down, at least a bit of a party wave for WA. Got Northcott Jackal on the right. Fremantle I think they're just falling. No, they'll get down
City dropped off. Northcott have got it, the Jackals, and Fremantle Madfish have got it. So there was 4 boats that had a chance on that one. And the Northcott Jackals and the Fremantle Madfish, it's going to be a sprint up the beach.
Yeah, I think it's for Fremantle. They've got a bit more depth in the water, a bit more...
Yeah, it's shallow over there for the Northcott. It's hard work. The problem is, though, when you jump out in that deeper water, the actual runner can sort of get bogged.
Oh, here we go. The close finish. Who's going to win this one?
Oh, Fremantle. Fremantle brought it home. Just pipped Northcott at the post. Shorter run up the beach. Now, where's Jack gone? Where's Jack gone? Lost our cameraman. Oh, there he is.
So I said I'd come and harass our great friend from Victoria, who was once from WA. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Good to see you starting. And what brings you back to WA?
The sunny weather, of course.
Close. The sunny weather and the magnificent Scarborough Beach. What do you think the conditions are going to do this afternoon?
Probably a little bit windy, I think. But
Yeah, it's from the south to southwest. It's one of those. I don't think it's going to get too hot today, but let's just see how we go. And thanks for your time. So the next event before judging starts, the next race, there's 4 boats in this one. We've got the Scarborough Shadows in Alley 2. We've got the crew from Broome, the Broome Heat in Alley 3, Tree Island Wipeouts in Alley 4. We're skipping a lane going to Alley 6, the Northcott Gills, the under-23 crews. All the very best. Okay, we're in the hands of the starter.
All right, Noxie, you get... We're all right, we're still organising the boats. We get all sorts of athletes. We get some athletes who are pretty relaxed about things, and then you get the nervous sorts. All right, flags up, guns up, and they're away. Sweeps sprinting down the beach. Well, not entirely sprinting, not everyone. Some it's an amble. But, yeah, you get relaxed athletes and you get nervous athletes. Before racing, Noxie, what were you? What sort of athlete were you?
I was a pretty just quiet athlete, just go and do my stuff, didn't talk too much. In the boat, once the flag's up, you know, a bit of nervous energy goes there. But I'm a strong believer with rowing in particular. It's the more relaxed you are, a happy boat is a fast boat.
Yeah, absolutely. Northcott out in the far right there, the Jills, under 23s.
Yeah, they're a good bunch of girls. They've come from a riverboat background, and I think this is potentially their second or third year together. I think some have rowed a little bit longer than that, but as you can see, a crew that stays together. If you've got the glue there, you can then keep adding and minusing a good crew member in and out.
And in lane 3, Noxie, I'll draw your attention to Broome. Broome have been really strong all day.
Oh, they're a classic crew. They're a great Masters crew, but also they're a great crew amongst this. And it shows, similar to City Black, that age has no barrier in this sport. As long as you got it together and there's experience and timing in the boat, you'll be out in front, and that's where they are.
I think in some of the heats we've seen so far, they've just come second. They've just been pipped to the post, and I'm hoping that they can bring this one home, because they're certainly turning the can, I think, in first place.
Yeah, I think they need to go pretty tight. There's a crew coming out, which they'll have to turn tight. That might take a little bit extra time. We're Northcott on the right side. We've gone a little bit wide. It's a bit of yin and yang in that one, because you're not sure whether you go tight and slow down or go wider and keep the boat speed up. So let's just see what happens when they turn back.
That's good, because it gives me a chance. Okay, casting your eyes back to the ocean there. Really, I'm looking at Broome. I'm going to back Broome. I'm going to back Broome, because I really want them to have a win here.
Terrific place too, isn't it? Broome?
Oh, yeah, I haven't been there for a while. Probably about 10 years, but it is a good spot.
And
right, really, we got Noxie's kids heckling him here. The commentator's getting heckled, so you're going to be stuck with me for a little while. But I'm just going to back Broome all the way. They're rowing beautifully. They're just dropping off one now, but Northcott is not going away. The Northcott Jills, they're right there to keep Broome honest the whole way. Now, Can they live the dream and bring it home in Perth with a little bit of wave action? Oh, he's waving someone out of the way, the sweep. He's telling them what he wants and shoo, get out of the way. Someone in the way. Yeah, he's telling Freo, City, Northcott to bugger off, basically. Northcott, move your boat. Jeez. Right, bit of an obstruction there. And Broome's got a long run, but she's looking strong and determined. She's going to take that flag. Well done, Broome. Good work. And Northcott, the Northcott Jills took out second place. Well done. Great fight. Good on you, Broome. That was wonderful to watch. And now we got City and Scarborough fighting hard. Oh, Scarborough just had to. She ran hard, but it was a little bit too far. Well done, Scarborough. Great run. Well done, Broome. Okay, where's... Yeah. Right. James, you just come down here, mate. Okay, we've got James looking very much like a rower here from Northcott. And James is from the boys. How's your day been so far, James?
Pretty good, thanks. We came out, had 2 races so far, managed to get the win in both races. Pretty tough conditions out here, though. The bank's quite short and sharp, so you've got to punch it out and get over the bank, get out the back, but short course, so...
So I'm going to challenge you there. The Eastern Staters will be looking at the water and they'll be looking online and going, what does he mean tough? That's not that big. What makes it particularly hard conditions today?
So you've got a combination of this southeast sort of semi-offshore wind, but also a bit of a cross chop. Combine that with a really short, shallow bank. It just makes it quite technical going out.
So your crews look really strong together and, you've really rode through with good rhythm. Give us a bit of a background of your crew and where they've come from.
Sure. So most of us have actually rode together since school, long time ago now. But in terms of surf, we started off in the juniors and we rode together for around 5 or so years. So we've been together for a while, and I think over the years we've found that that's translated into more cohesion in the boat and a bit of boat speed as well. So it's been good.
So Noxie was talking about that social glue that sort of holds you together, and that's the case for your crew?
Yeah, that's right. So we all came in with sort of different techniques in the boat, different styles of rowing. So over the years, we've managed to sort of blend it all together and just get that sort of one rowing technique and style that sort of helped us.
And do you hang around outside of surf boats?
We do, which is also very important, I think. So, surf boats is a real social sport, particularly when you go over east. You spend a lot of time together, so really important that everyone gets along and has a few beers afterwards, which is really what it's all about. So,
well, James, you can see the cohesion in the boat, so well done and good luck for the rest of the day.
Thanks, mate. Cheers.
And back onto the water, we can see again some good crews getting out there, go nice and clean. From the alley 2 there, we've got the Scarborough Surfettes under-19s. In alley 3, in Northcott Critical Business, swept by Jeff Hegarty. Lane 4 is the City Bonitas. And alley 5, we've got Northcott Mac Attacks. Alley 6, we've got the Scarborough Sunsets with Dave Irwin.
Okay, Noxie, we're just going to give a bit of a live update on the results here. So we were just speaking to James from Northcott, the boys, and his crew, he said he was pretty happy with things, and they've won 2 races. So they're out in the lead at the moment with 14 points. Then in second place, we've got the Northcott Jackals, and I'd like to highlight that they're the young fellas. They're under 19. They're doing a great job. And then it's neck and neck. There's 4 teams on 12 points. So we've got City Black on 4 points, Northcott Wolverines, under 23, Mullaloo, the mid-rigs, the mid-size rigs, because there's half of the big rigs there, and the Fremantle Madfish, all on 12 points. So it's there's only a couple of points between the top 3 crews. Great format, anyone can be in it at this stage. Okay, cool. Perfect. Okay.
Sorry, that was so
no worries.
confusing.
That's all right.
And Matt, that's the beauty about short course. The racing is very, very tight, and hence the point score. Back out in the water, we've got Northcote coming through on alley number 2 on the left side there, the critical business. And there's a bit of a line straight to the right. We've got City Bonitas and then Northcote Mac Attack and then the Scarborough Sunsets in alleys 4, 5 and 6 respectfully. This will be a close race. I can just see with the 4 crews, or the 3 crews on the right-hand side in particular, they should all come in on the same wave, as long as they can keep it straight. Northcote's slows slightly, but Dave Irvin on the right there, he should pick up a place on that one with Northcote going sideways. Let's just see who gets the second and third. It's close out, both go out of the boat. I think it could be City on this one, but again, we'll leave it to the judges. As the breeze comes up a little bit more from the south, it'll be interesting to see boats getting off the beach as well as out to sea.
All right, Noxie, I'm going to join live from the Scarborough tent. Right, boy, I'm sitting here with the Scarborough under-19 Sharks. I'll just get them to introduce themselves quickly.
G'day, I'm Leo. I'm Harry. James. Ethan.
Rightio, fellas. So you're sitting in the tent between races. How do you occupy your mind? What are you doing when you're in here?
Just talking shit between us all, really.
Okay, remember you're live, fellas. Okay, and how did you guys come together as a crew?
My medic from footy, Dave Irwin's been nagging me for years, and I ran out of excuses, so finally got a group of boys together and came down and started rowing.
All right, so you've come from footy.
No, well, most of us are river rowers, and we just got one big rig who's done the roller swim twice solo, so we thought we'd all get together and give it a crack.
Right, so you've come from which ones are the river rowers?
Us three.
Us three, right, okay. So who's the big rig? Oh, James is the big rig. Well, we've got to introduce ourselves to the big rig. Okay, James, so why do they call you the big rig?
Don't know, you better ask them.
let the rowing do the talking, eh? So where did you row, James?
Didn't row.
Okay, that's the one non-rower. All right, you're a swimmer, were you a clubby before you were a rower?
Years ago, but not recently.
Okay. So where did you row together, boys?
We rowed at school on the river.
Which school?
Hales School.
Right, okay, so pretty close to Scarborough. Nice and easy. You all live sort of in this area. All right, boys, great speaking to you. Oh, we're getting a bit longer, are we? Right, okay. So seriously, between races, it's hard yak out there. You know, do you try and relax and just, what do you do?
I get a bit of a snack down us. Normally have to go help the boat, so we don't really get that much of a break. So, but yeah, just try and keep out of the sun. Don't get too burnt, pretty much.
Yeah, I guess it's a long day as well, so you've got to keep that energy getting into you, and keeping out of the sun would be pretty important.
Drink lots of water as well. Make sure they get down us, yeah.
And how are you feeling about today, your rowing today?
Oh, we're still a pretty new crew. We've only had probably 10 trainings together, if that, for as this crew as it is right now. So we're just still learning the ropes and everything. But yeah, we're getting there. We're rowing together quite smoothly today, so quite happy.
Okay, guns up. And they're off. All right, fellas, thanks for your time. Good to see you. Have a good day.
Thanks for that, Matt. It was good to hear how the young guys work these days. I hear the story that the reason why they call him the rig is because he pulls the boat around and rips the side out of a boat. So a very modest type of gentleman that you spoke with, but he's a big unit, and I think we need 3 extra crew members to balance him out. So all on the opposite side to him. So great for that. Thanks for the insight, boys. Back to the racing out here. And we have City G's in Alley 2. They had a bit of a stiff start. They're sort of sitting in last place at the moment, but a bit of work to do. I'm sure they can get back. In Alley 3 is the Northcote Young Guns. Alley 4 is the City Crabs. Coogee Beach Crabs, I should say. And in Alley 5 is the City Roosters, the good-looking City Roosters. So as they all turn reasonably even, maybe half a boat in it, depends on the turn, and of course the short course racing, minimal stakes as I mentioned before, so tight turns, out quickly, settle quickly, and let's see what they get on the way home. So Matt, you've been out of Surf Club for a little bit. Is it good to be back down? I heard you had a stint overseas as well.
Oh, mate, I absolutely love it. You know, I'd love to get back into it, but I'm afraid the body, I'm 47 years old, and I know there's some older guys here that are still competing, but just the back. I've had a couple of issues with the back, so now I just like to be down supporting it and watching it. Still feel the adrenaline flow, want to jump in the boat, but I find when I do, the back talks to me pretty quickly.
Well, you're doing a great job on the microphone today, and it's good to see some healthy passion, a lot of enthusiasm on the beach, and again some young guys coming through. It's really super exciting to see where WA Surfboat Rome will go.
Oh yeah, look, it really is, and I think being someone who's myself rowed and coached a lot in the river, I'd love to transition to a sweep and get in the thick of it, but I just found I was a bit uncoordinated, and being tall works being a rower, but being a sweep, I think it helps to have a low centre of gravity.
Yeah, we have a good friend of mine who I obviously rowed with. I won't mention his name, but David Porzik, to him, the sloppy giraffe, we used to call him, can row up and down any day of the week, but getting to throw and catch could be a different story. But back to the waterline here.
Yeah, it's going to be close. Coogee and Northcote. It's who gets out of the boat the quickest. And City. It's a quick sprint. Where's your flag? And City's got it. City, Northcote, and Coogee. My goodness, that was a close one. It's, you know, one thing I love to see is the crews that are a little bit behind are still running hard up the beach to get to that flag as quick as possible.
Yeah, 100%, Matt. It's not over till it's over, until that flag's up in the air. So
exactly.
Well done to the crews, well done to the bowmen. They've rode a short course, and then they've got a bit of an upward hill run in a bit of soft sand to pull that flag. So well done to all crews. So that's a definite no to rowing, no to sweeping, but more commentary.
Oh, yeah, it looks like it. Looks like it.
Yeah, we've signed you up, apparently.
What do you want? I didn't really have anything in my head.
That's all right, we'll just
I'll
get
speak to
an interview.
Longy, interview, mate.
Do I have to?
I don't know. Okay, we've got Paul Long from Scarborough Surf Club. Longy, I haven't seen you for a couple of years. What are you doing at the moment down in the club?
G'day, Horty. It has been a while, mate. I've been producing children, really, mate. Had four children, kept me away from this great sport, but I'm back.
All right, now, so you're back. You're back doing what? Are you tugging on an oar, or are you sort of more civilised sweeping?
No. I'll be on the oar, mate, but not till States. When I say it, it'll be States Day, first race.
Oh, so the classic cameo, the old guy classic cameo.
I wouldn't say old guy, mate. Much younger than you.
yeah, fair enough. Okay, so talk us through what you're doing to prepare yourself for this cameo.
Oh, that is the $1 million question, Horty.
So nothing.
Yes, that's right.
Getting recoiled.
Oh, good work, mate. Well, you know, I know from personal experience, jumping in a boat with limited preparation can be a bit of a rude shock. Have you done that sort of thing before?
Well, mate, if we're going to compare our bases between you and I, it's probably a bit different. So, you know, I'm sure I'll be fine, mate.
Oh, nice. All right, thanks, Paul. Good to speak to you, mate. Right, flags up, guns up.
Well done. Another quick turnaround in those races, and we're on and we're off. In Alley 2, we've got City Storm, swept by Brendan Doyle. Alley 3, we've got Sorrento Gypsies, swept by Luke Ferrier. In Alley 4, we've got Bunbury 4Bs. And I've just been told that the Mullaloo Dirty Oars, great name, got to say that carefully, but they have pulled out. Pardon the pun.
Right, which race are we on? Which race are we on, Noxie? This one? Okay, so the open female, heat 4. Lane 2, we've got Scarborough Storm. Yeah, we've got a 3-boat race here, and you know what? It looks pretty even too. I think they're all pretty much on a par at the moment. Maybe Scarborough's got a little bit of a lead.
Yeah, I think so, and we'll see once the boats start to turn. So I think in the middle crew there, I think could be Sorrento. We've got a left-handed sweep, and having a left-hander, Molly Duker, is definitely handy doing a right-hand turn due to the fact that the sweep can actually push away from the oar rather than pulling towards them and keep their balance at the same time.
Yeah, right. It'd almost be worth learning how to do it left-handed because it's a pretty good advantage there, isn't it?
Yeah, so as you see, as he comes up to the turning buoy there, where he's taken his blade out and he's grabbed hold of the strokes oar, which is great. Be a great opportunity. You get another half a boat length if he was able just to pivot his...
Nice tight turn too.
Yeah, well done, Sorrento. You're very tight. I think that's put maybe a half, maybe a boat length between the other crews.
Yeah, that was a masterclass of how to get around the can sweep.
It is, and now they're back on their peg, so which means that the runner at the end of the race doesn't have to run an extra 15 or 20 metres. They're right back on their peg. They're in a really strong position. And let's just see what happens over the next 30 or 40 strokes.
This was always the part of the race. I've got to be honest, I hated the first pass of the race. Once we got to the can and turning the can, I loved that. I loved the whole idea of digging my oar in or, depending on which way you're going. Back in Cottesloe back in the day, we used to mirror rig the boat.
Yeah, yes.
And, so pulling the boat around and then getting onto it and chasing skates, that was my zone. I love chasing skates.
Yeah, it's a good part of the race, and you're not too far from home, especially as you see the gate cans. Now, we don't have any gate cans today due to the short course, but it was not too far for these crews to get home.
No worries, mate. I probably won't, but the water's good.
Sorrento just need to negotiate this little bubble. This is a bit of murkiness in the water there. They shouldn't have any too much difficulty in negotiating this.
Yeah, it really is tricky there. It just gets so heavy. It can get, certainly in the longer races, you hit that heavy water for, the last couple 100 metres, and it can it can be the difference between the crews that win or lose, to be honest.
And here come the Sorrento Gypsies. Well done, Sorrento. A solid race. Congratulations there.
Oh, well done, Sorrento. Good finish. Sorrento?
Well done to Scarborough and the City crew. Well done. Oh, Bunbury, I should say. My apologies. Just thanks to all the crews who've listened to the boat referee putting their oars inside the boat. The boats are on the racing side of the flag, so we don't want the oars flapping out of the boat. So thanks for putting your oar and blades into the boat. Well done. Had several people from the general public just coming up and saying, what the hell is going on today? So it is a round robin. So what happens, there are heats, and so there are different divisions as well. Sorry, Matt, over to you.
Sorry, Noxie. We've got Rebecca here from the Sorrento Gypsies. Just had a good race. Tell me about it.
Oh, actually, the start wasn't so crash hot, but we were able to get back into it.
Okay, so what happened at the start? You say it wasn't crash hot. What happened?
The number 2 lost her or came out of the rollick. But that's okay. We managed to get it back in and then get back. But we've got a really fast sweep, which helps as well.
So you lost an oar. So explain to people, as a crew, when that happens, how do you respond?
Get the oar back in the rollick as fast as you can. So that's what we had to do. Make sure that we don't go sideways when you've got one that's not rowing. And, hopefully go into the wave straight.
So you've had a horrible start. You've had a horrible start, and then you've recovered. How was that? What did it feel like in the boat? What were you doing to catch up?
Long and strong, I guess. Long and strong, making sure that you get each catch and each stroke in time with everyone, and just grit and bear it.
Brilliant. Thanks, Rebecca. I think they're getting ready to start another one.
And we're off again in the Open Male Round 3 Heat 1. In Alley 1 there, we've got Northcott, the boys. In Alley 2, we've got Scarborough Sharks, under 19s. In Alley 3, we've got Swanbourne, Headless Oarsman, off to a good start there. City Black in Alley 4. We've got the Cottesloe Muppets in Alley 5. And on the far right there, Coogee Beach, the Walruses.
And once again, the boys have just kept up their form, got a beautiful start. Unfortunately, Coogee at the other end, I'm not sure whether it was the conditions or the shape of the beach, but they had a bit of a shocker to begin with.
They did. It could be a myriad of things, but as that breeze starts to blow up, maybe the sweeps need to rethink their strategy a little bit and point the nose maybe sort of slightly south.
And as Noxie said, in this sport, it really never... Surf is the best thing. It's the most dynamic sport ever. That it's a classic Bradbury, You can come from dead motherless last, and as long as you do the work and put your head down, all sorts of things can happen, and you get the opportunity to pull in front.
Yeah, exactly, Matt. 100% right there, and been witness to many races, including Australian finals, where you see crews are... pretty much got their name on the trophy, and someone at the back will come through and nick it off them. So the beauty of the sport, not to take yourself seriously, but I'm sure these guys take the sport seriously.
Okay, Noxie, so given that the sport is so dynamic, it's really hard to consistently win, because it's not just about the final, it's also about all the heats and all the things that can go horribly wrong there. North Cottesloe, the old J Crew, they strung together 4 national championships, which is the ultimate consistency. What do you attribute that to?
Luck, a bit of luck, a lot of hard work. Things go your way, and sometimes things don't go your way. And everyone said, Northcott won 4 in a row, it won't be broken. And Mona Vale 4 years later nearly had 4 themselves. So the beauty about it is that we all are a huge family. The crew from Mona Vale, we still keep tight knits with, and many other crews across the seaboard. But it's
the boys are just catching a little something, and
that's
now the boats.
Pop
beautifully.
Up.
That's
City Black on the right, I think.
An experienced hand there. They're going to need to tap it in. Yep, they've got control again, and I think the boys are going to be happy with that finish.
Yeah. What's interesting, it's good to see Swanbourne. Some good, solid rowers there. Fit, very fit-looking boys. And obviously the results are in the pudding here, getting maybe a second or a third here against City.
Yeah, we had a chat to the Swanbourne boys earlier on, and they look fit and strong and really keen to sort of make the investment the club has made in this new boat, make it worthwhile.
It looks a great boat. And again, some 4 strong, strapping lads pulling that around the course. So well done to Swanbourne. It's good to see you back and very competitive in the Open Men's.
Brilliant, great race. Noxie, I'm going to go and try and find someone to have a chat to in one of the tents.
You're back, Matt. You couldn't find anyone. Actually, while we're here, we have the famous John Wright. We asked him what he's going to have for dinner tonight, and he said soup. I said, why soup? But it's good to see you down.
Oh, it's good to be here. It's good to see the boats sort of building up again.
It certainly is. 36 or 37 odd crews out in the water. We'll just go to the starter. I think that's going to start reasonably soon. But yeah, I'm sure you've had a big hand in getting the surf boats up, and it's great to see it's continuing on.
Well, boats are important to a club because 4 boat rowers mean 4 patrol members. So the more boat crews you got, the more patrol members you got.
Yeah, 100% there. We know Scarborough's represented really well in that. Flag is up.
I remember when North was strong.
Oh, so do I. Well,
all those guys that were cruising then, and then Ian Taylor came along.
well Clark. Ian Clark was the main one, wasn't it?
This one? Okay, round 3, heat 2 of the open males. Over to lane 1, we got the City Phantoms. Lane 3, we got the City Woks. Lane 4, Fremantle Madfish. Lane 5, Scarborough Seagulls. And lane 6, City Black, the experienced crew amongst the group.
Right, while this race is underway, I will call out the open final, B final. So these people need to be ready after the next race for the B final of the open female. On the red and yellow can, the Scarborough Shadows. On black can, Scarborough Sunsets. On green and white, the City Bonitas. On red can, the City Roosters. On blue and white, the Northcott Young Guns. And on yellow can, the Scarborough Storm. Those crews could start getting ready for the B final coming up after the next race of the men's.
Just surf boats or river background?
All surf boats. I don't think anyone has river, do they? No.
Right, what got you into it? You went from nipper to surf boat?
Yeah, well, I just didn't stop with boat.
And back in the water, we've got Alley 3, the City Woks, coming home quite strongly. But let's see, you could nearly put a blanket over this. A bit of a rise coming, but let's see how City pulls ahead of that one. Can they do it? I think they can. Fremantle might be following it. Go. Unlucky Fremantle. I think then City is. I've got this one in the middle here, but again, it's not over until the runner has run up the beach and has pulled that flag out of the sand.
No, it's the City Woks they've really managed to pull that together, and they'll finish off strong. No one's going to get in the way of that flag.
It's interesting, the inter-club rivalry, isn't it?
City Black over the far side. They weren't far off the pace.
Yeah.
And now come Freo and Scarborough Seagulls. Probably jumped out of the boat a little bit early and made the run a bit hard for himself.
Right, so...
Yeah. City Beach Bonitas. Okay, early in the day I was talking about celebrating 50 years of women in surf. When I used to row, there was no ladies rowing surf boats. It just wasn't done. So here I've got the pleasure to introduce the City Beach Bonitas. I'll get them to quickly introduce themselves.
I'm Liz, Honor, Mel, and Beck.
Right, okay, I'm going to direct all the questions here to make it easy for myself. All right, so how long have you guys been rowing together?
It's our first year as a crew together, but each of us have had up to 8 years' experience individually in rowing.
Right, in rowing, all at City Beach?
No, I've jumped around different beaches, but City Beach for the past 5 years.
Okay, and what was your journey? What took you to the surf boats?
Fitness, I think, for me. And amongst the crew, fitness was one of the main draws, but also just spending a lot of time at the beach, so it's drawn to it.
Right, okay, and what was your pathway in surf to the surf boats?
It was just, definitely a fitness thing. I was doing first aid, so it's a little bit more exciting than some of the first aid competitions, but just something different. I get to be in a team. It was cool.
I've got to ask, at any point have you ever regretted your decision to come to surf boats? That was the most honest answer we've had all day.
No.
Okay, did you find it really quite physical? Did you find that confronting at all?
Definitely. There have been times where it's been confronting, I think.
Great racing today, ladies, and lovely to meet you, and best of luck for the rest of the day. See ya.
And they're off. The last of the round 3 in the open men's. In Alley 1, we've got the Northcote Wolverines under 23s. Alongside them is the Northcote Jackals, the under 19s. That will be an interesting race, and bragging rights back at the club tonight, no doubt. Alley 3, Mullaloo, mid-size rigs with the big-size guy in there, I think. And Alley 4 is the Fremantle Fluffy Ducks. Had a good round last race. Lane 5, the City Draft. And in Alley 6, we've got the Fremantle Who Dis.
Yeah, we had the poor old sweep from the Northcote Jackals just got a little bit deeper water and tripped over as he was getting in the boat. So they didn't have the best start in the world, but they've managed to sort of recover and probably be in third place at this stage, I'd say.
Yeah, it's a gamble as how far you take that boat out, isn't it? You know, it might look shallow, but there might be a few little holes and mysterious little troughs here and there.
And we've consistently seen the boats that are out the furthest often do get the best start. So it's a gamble, but it's one that people are willing to take.
Yeah. Just the crew members are waiting for the sweep to come down and just hoping he doesn't stuff it up.
No pressure.
No. But out to sea, it's getting a little bit windy out there. I'm not sure if crews will adjust their oar height. What I mean by that, and a lot of the crew members most probably also know this, but so take into consideration as the wind blows up, you may want to add a little bit of height into your rollick just to get a bit more clearance as that sou'wester comes in.
Yeah, it's one of the interesting things is the blades spend a fair bit of time quite square in surf boat rowing, whereas in river you'd spend less time square. And but when the wind blows up, it can actually just make your blade control that little bit harder. It takes a bit more energy out of you.
Yeah, that's correct, Matt. And the blade, the actual spoon itself, is a little bit bigger than a normal blade and a little bit longer. So it will get blown away in the wind. So a bit more control, especially over the water. You want to keep it close to the water, but enough clearance so you've got enough clearance on that back turn.
Just as I was talking about blade control, it reminded me of the fact that when I was rowing seriously, they were actually round collars. They weren't flat back oars.
Well, yeah, I know. No round backs are used quite heavily in the East Coast. North Sydney beaches use rounds, and rightfully so. When there's a surf on, you see crews with square backs fixing their square blade Rolex. Here we come. There's a crew coming in right now.
Oh, yeah, lovely.
It's good Northcote v Northcote there.
The Wolverines and the Jackals.
Yeah, 19s, 21s.
Competing for the same.
Yes. This is going to be a great run to the beach. We're going to see some young kids get out of the boat and run up to the flag.
Right, it's the under-23s versus the under-19s. Under-23s in lane 1, under-19s in lane 2.
Oh, here we go. I think the 19s just have it in front, but who knows, a quick dash to the beach.
Righty-o, there's a Scarborough boat in the way. They're wrestling to pull it over to get it out their way.
Yeah, under-23 Wolverine had a slight little trip, but can he recover?
Oh, 19s.
Well done, 19s. Great work.
The young fellas won the day. Well done. We've got the other crews here. City coming in.
The City Drafts in second, and a great effort by Mullaloo. Too close to call, perhaps. I'll leave that to the judges again.
We haven't spoken to Mullaloo yet, so I might see if I can bail someone up from Mullaloo to have a quick chat.
you have?
Hey, mate.
Okay. All right.
Hey, mate. When you've handled your boat before the next race, can I do an interview with you? If you come over to the tent after you've handled your boat.
Just a reminder for the crews coming in off the shore to place your blades up and down the boat, just so the runners getting the flag at the end of each race aren't dodging and weaving them.
Yeah, why not? Yeah, that'd be good. Yeah.
Can we just, attention to all boat sweeps, no need to put your boat in the water yet. We're just finalising the A and B finals at the moment, so please be patient. We'll be with you back shortly. Okay, I've been handed the Open Women B final here. In alley 1 on the red and yellow is Scarborough Shadows. On alley 2 is Scarborough Sunsets. In alley 3 is City Bonitas. Alley 4 is City Roosters. Alley 5 is Northcott Young Guns. And to wrap up alley 6 is Scarborough Storm. If sweeps can get their boats and crews on the line, that'd be terrific.
Okay, there's a bit of an interest around the tent at the moment. People are wanting to figure out if they're in the finals, where they're sitting.
I'd love a Vicky, buddy. Thank you. Oh, can I have a kiss too? Mwah. Thank you.
Okay, right. So we're just making sure that the finals, the crews that are into the finals are all sorted out. Now we've got some boys from Mullaloo here. Gentlemen, if you can come over here. Now, we've had a lot of chat about the mid-size rigs over the day. So who's the big rig and who's the mid-size rig?
We used to have a crew a couple of years ago called the Big Rigs. A couple of us dropped off. One went to the army. One just got old. So now me and Isaac, we're what's left. And granted, our rigs aren't as big as they used to be. So we consider ourselves moderately sized rigs. No longer big.
Okay, bit of great honesty there. We're just going to pause for a second when this race flags up. No. Right, we've got a bit of excitement on the beach. We're just going to pause. Stay here, boys, and we'll capture you once the race starts. Okay, just waiting on starting orders. Okay. All right, boys, this is live sport for you, streaming live, a bit of excitement. So, how are you feeling about the day so far?
Feeling pretty good. Yeah.
Oh, that's good. What about, okay, so you had a good race there. Talk us through that one.
Oh, we wanted to get a good start. Got a moderately okay start. Decided to go out, gave it a bit of a lax in the midwater. Made a good turn. Good turn fixed us for us. And then brought it home, needed a wave, got a wave, ran.
Nice, simple steps. Right, got a good turn. What's a good turn? How do you walk through a good turn? What does a good turn look like?
It's a little bit wide. Sweep brings us in, and then we could come out in like 1.5 strokes maybe. It just flicks, and he thinks it's all about 2-seat, but.
All right, now I'm going to ask the big question. So you did catch a wave. That might have made a difference in the race, so fair to say. Who was the rower in the boat who pulled you onto it?
We do have a big rig over here. So I must give the credit to Adam. He's a bit older than us. He's come down. He's given us a hand, and he's definitely got a bit more power than the rest of us. So I reckon Adam.
Right, when you are at that critical moment, you can feel it, can't you? You've got to pull it on. And so what are you going to do, big rig, to pull your crew onto the wave? What's the difference between missing it or catching it?
Praying. Just hoping that you get it. Like, just get the catch and just pull with all your might, I guess.
So nice, clean stroke, and then just give it as much curry as you've got. And what was the feeling when you actually got onto it?
Yeah, it was quite great. It was very exciting. Yeah.
Relief you don't have to row anymore.
Once again, a bit of straight up honesty there. Relief, thank God I don't have to work hard anymore.
I got to give some credit to our stroke Jack. He's new to stroke in the last 2 weeks, and he's amazing. His rate, his ratios, everything, just fantastic.
Right, so this is Jack. Oh, well done, Jack. Well done. Good stroke. All right, well done, boys.
Well done, boys, and well done, Matt. And some proud parents in the background there, so great to see you down here also. I think this is welcome to live television, live streaming. We need to wait for cameras, etc., so that's why there's a bit of a halt on the line for now. And once we know more, we'll let you guys know more.
Okay, so I'm here with the Northcott Mac Attack. The ladies, I'll get you to introduce yourselves.
I'm Sally.
Caitlin. Gloria. Mackenzie.
Mackenzie. All right, guys. Now, you guys look to have done pretty well today. How are you feeling about it so far?
I like the short course. It's a nice change.
And what do you like about the short course?
It's punchy. Punchy off the start.
Okay, so you're a strong starting crew?
We try.
What about having to run out to the boat and having the whole run element? We've got our bow person here. Sorry, what was your name again?
Gloria.
Talk me through, what you're thinking as you jump out of the boat, running to the flag. What are your thoughts?
My thoughts, I just try my best not to face plant and just run as fast as I can. That's all I'm thinking about.
And do you have any hot tips for avoiding the said face plant?
I try and wait till I see some sand. Wait until the water's a bit clear, and then I go for it.
Right, so hot tip, avoid blue and go for that sort of sandy colour. Sand's your favourite colour. There you go. All right, and for the final today, what are your thoughts?
Nice and clean off the start, and then punch it once we get around the can on the way back.
Now, we're talking about clean, and that's Southwesters come in now and looking a bit dirty. How do you feel about that?
Not too bad, as long as the catches are in together and we're out together and we're relaxed and calm. We'll give it a go.
Spoken like a professional. I used to hate the sea breeze when it came in. I was a bit of a Princess River roll, so if the conditions are anything less than perfect, it always used to upset me a little bit. Okay, and moving forward throughout the season, what are your aspirations for this season?
Get a few rows in the week, do some ergs, have some pavlova over Christmas.
And you're aiming for a state title this year?
It's probably my third carnival, so we'll see how that goes.
Third carnival. Oh, wow. So it's all fairly new to you. And how are you finding it?
Pretty good. Bit different to river rowing.
So you come from the river. Yeah, and what are your first thoughts when you felt the movement of the water underneath you?
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, and have you been sideways on a wave yet?
We just did that in our last race. yeah, first time sideways, didn't roll.
Okay, right. Well, I look forward to watching your first roll. All right. Best of luck, guys, for the rest of the day. Catch you later. We had a little bit of a delay in the program there while they were sorting out who was in the finals.
But now the whistle's off now, Matt, so we should see some action. So some great crews here. Going from left to right just quickly, the Scarborough Shadows, Scarborough Sunsets, City Bonitas, then City Roosters, Northcote Young Guns, and then the Scarborough Swarm.
Shadows, Sunsets, Bonitas, Roosters, Young Guns, Swarm.
And they're off. Let's just see how they get out through this break. There's a bit of a rip on the left-hand side there in alley 1, so let's just see what happens there.
Yeah, I'd probably rather be Scarborough starting off here at the moment.
Yeah, they've got a nice little bump out there. I don't think anything will rise in front of them, so they should sneak out. On the right-hand side, we've got Northcote in alley 5. And then on the right of them, we've got Scarborough Storm just going over a slight little bubble at the moment. All heading there, and then out to sea. But alley 1, as we said, look at that rip. It's taken them out there quite quickly. It's a bit of a travelator. They might be a couple of boat lengths up by now.
Yeah, I think that really did help them for sure. We've got Scarborough at the other end, Scarborough Storm in lane 6, and they've made heavy work of it, and it's going to be tough to come back from that. Northcote have had a reasonable start, but the two Scarborough crews out the front, and City Beach Bonitas that we spoke to earlier look like they're doing pretty well as well.
Yeah, right in the middle in alley 3 there. So, again, they'll be pushing a little bit into the south. That wind's come up a little bit with a bit of a cross breeze. Really important for, obviously, keep the boat trim, but also to allow the rowers to sit quite tall on the hips to get a good clearance, and so they're always finishing your stroke. You don't want to shortchange your stroke and come out early. While we wait for these crews to go around the can, which again in alley 2 there, that's looking like the Sunsets. Well done, girls. They're looking pretty strong. The B final for the men's will be called very, very shortly. So listen up. Please get your crews ready for the next race.
Yeah, and, you know, as you're watching the boats go out there, you're watching the bow bob up and down, and it just shows that the wind's really starting to have an impact on this rowing now. Yeah, they have. And they're sort of cutting across this way a little bit. They're heading sort of like the southeast direction to then get a good run home. Really important for these crews to line their crew up on the right peg. You don't want to sort of run 20, 30, 50 metres more than what you have to, especially after, you know, a short race, a high intense race like this one. Okay, so we've got the open male B final. We've got Fremantle Hoodis in lane 1, lane 2 Mullaloo mid-size rigs, lane 3 Swanbourne Headless Oarsman, lane 4 City Barebacks, lane 5 Coogee, Cottesloe, the Muppets, and lane 6 the City Drafts. So, well, here we go on the two-wave, the party wave here for both. Well, here we go. Both crews here. Scarborough on the left and City on the right. That's looking great. It's going to be a close race here. Northcote on the right there. They've been difficult to hold that one. It feels like the shape of the beach is going to. Oh, here we go. Northcote are having a bit of fun on there. Yes, they are. Here comes it. It's going to be a terrific race. It's going to be a run to the beach. I think City Beach have got a nicer shape to the beach there. They're first on the deck. Both bound out. They're off. They're running. Who's going to come close? Oh, the Bonitas. The City Beach Bonitas. Closely followed by Scarborough Sunsets. Oh, unfortunately, City have sorted themselves out there, and there's no harm, no foul. I've got to say, when you're commentating, sometimes we've lost an oar out there. I think that's a sweep oar. but I lose track of it. You know, when they miss their lane.
We'll collect that before the next race. But next cruise, the B final, ready on the line once we finish this race. We've got 3 races to go. So for the general public...
Okay, so the City Beach Bonitas that we just spoke to before, City Beach Bonitas have just had another win. They won the ladies' B final. Well done, ladies. The camera's on. Give it a fist bump.
So this is where we're down to. These are the finals. We've got a B final and an A grade final. So what happens, we have several heats throughout the morning. These crews have rode 3 heats. And then from that, we split them up to an A and B final. So we've just saw the B grade final for the women. Next up is the B grade men final, followed by the A grade women and then the A grade men.
Now, Noxie was saying before that he was the cool, calm, calculated athlete and didn't get too nervous. And fair to say, I was at the other end of the spectrum. I used to have nervous wheeze just before the race and, you know, really I'd shake. And just before the race, I was in bow seat and I'd be holding the bow there. And you know the thing I used to hate most, Noxie, when it happened?
Tell me what
I used to hate was when a wave had just put about half a kilo of sand on my seat. And I'd think, that is going to hurt.
Yes, sand is the worst enemy for most boat rowers, as we know. Sorbeline is sometimes the friendliest, but yes, getting sand on the seat at the start is not great.
Not fun at all. Not fun at all, especially when you know you don't have time to clear it. It's just there.
Yep.
For those who aren't familiar with surf boats and joining us live online, live broadcast, there might be people who are, you know, got a bit of morbid interest in surf boats, and you just literally pull your bathers up your backside and you slide on a solid seat. So it's just your flesh straight on the seat with a bit of water as the lubricant, basically.
Yeah, that's right, Matt. And people always wonder why you pull your bathers up your backside. It is a fixed seat. It's not like a riverboat where the seat moves itself. The seat is fixed due to the fact that you go through water and swell, and if your backside does come off the seat, which is quite often, that you don't want the seat, if it's on rollers, to sort of head south and then you've got nothing to sit on. So this is a fixed platform. It's made out of fiberglass. In the olden days, it used to be made out of wood. But, yes, it's. I know some crews actually provide a little bit of lubricant on that, bit of sorbeline.
Fair income. Yeah, they go for the lubricant.
Yeah, I know Western Australian crews do it. It gets quite dry, unlike today. So it definitely helps the rhythm on the boat, especially on that slide coming back.
They used to run the long distance bridge-to-bridge race from the Fremantle Traffic Bridge to Burswood there.
Yeah.
And, you know, some crews would actually put in rolling seats like a riverboat, and others would just have a sponge next to them. But what I used to love when I was rowing next to a crew is you could hear the sound of their backside squeaking on the seat. That was,
a dry backside is not great.
Yeah. You sort of knew you were going to beat them.
Yeah, the old bridge to bridge hasn't been run for a while, but here we are, down on the water.
Open Mail B final.
Yeah, the great Mark Irwin has blown the whistle. He's kept proceedings moving quite smoothly today.
Who's your favourite, Noxie? You've watched a bit of racing now. Who do you reckon's probably in the pole position?
You know, the Sorrento Gypsies did quite well, but I'm going to go homegrown. I can't go too far about the Northcott.
Whoop. Bees. This is the male B final. Oh, sorry, you've got the wrong spreadsheet. Okay, so we're on
I've been set up here.
the Open Male B final. Flags up, guns up. Righto. So we got lane 1, Fremantle, Who Dis. Lane 2, Mullaloo, the mid-sized rigs that we spoke to earlier.
Yeah, I'm going to go them. I like them.
Yeah, the mid-sized rigs?
Yeah, they're good character.
Yeah.
Lovely kids. Off they go.
And they've had a good start.
They do. And again, that little trough that's going out.
Along with the City Beach Barebacks, I think, or is it the Muppets?
No, it's the Cottesloe Muppets, I think, in Alley 5.
Oh, no, the City Beach Barebacks have had a good start too.
They have?
Fremantle have made a bit of a comeback. The start didn't sort of set the world afire, but they look like they might have pulled equal to Mullaloo.
That's right, but as you can see, City Barebacks in Alley 4 there, just maybe a length or so in front of everyone else. So out they go to sea. There's a lot of work to do, and as we know, with the wind blowing up, anything can change between now and then.
Okay, Noxie, I'm just going to share the Open Female A final in lane 1. We've got the City G's. Lane 2, Sorrento Gypsies. Lane 3, the Northcote Critical Business. Lane 4, City Pina Coladas. Lane 5, my personal favourite, the Broome Heat. And lane 6, Mac Attack for the Open Female A final. Now, looking back to the race, what are we thinking, Noxie? It looks pretty even, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's hard to tell with a bit of bump in the water, so it's hard to draw a line. But I think the City crew are coming up onto their can now, and they're turning at the moment. So let's have a look. 1, 2, 3, and off they go. Next crew's around in Alley 3. So I reckon they're maybe a boat and a half against their nearest competitor. Oh, the crew in Alley 3, they've taken a wide turn.
Wide. Really wide.
Yeah, so I think they maybe lost a couple of lengths. So I'm going to go sort of Alley 2 at the moment.
Yeah, it'd be hard to sort of put any money against the Barebacks at the moment. The City Barebacks, they're in real good spot.
Yeah, I'm going to put my money on the Mullaloo boys again, the mid-size.
Oh, the mid-size rigs.
Yeah, they've got a bit of rowing to do, but I think they can come back. Their parents are down here, he's talked up the stroke. He's the best stroke in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
He better bring something out of the bag.
No, he has to bring it out of the bag now. It's gone live. It's out there.
Oh, no.
Yeah, City Barebacks, they're really in prime spot.
Go.
Something's going to have to go horribly wrong for those two guys to not get the flag first, but let's see.
It's very interesting. In a final race, your rowing can actually go to kaput to a certain degree. You might be rowing well on the heats and even the semi-finals, but a final is a different race altogether. And again, you asked before about what's important when you row. It's a calm. Oh, my boys.
Oh, that's never good to watch.
Yeah, no,
let's hope everyone's all right.
Yep.
In the meantime, the City Beach Barebacks have just come up and claimed the flag for the win.
Yeah.
Well done, boys.
And it's the Swanbourne crew.
Yeah. Swanbourne, Headless Oarsman.
Yeah.
We've been talking about these boys all day.
Yeah, it's great to see, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is.
Well done, Swanbourne.
Well done, Swannies.
Great race.
Now, I think I can see I've got all the heads at Fremantle, so everyone's up. And no one's injured, so that's always good to see.
So, Matt, make note. Don't ask me to put money on any boat crew because they generally finish last.
That's why Noxie's got a good little business. He hasn't been a gambler or a poker player.
Never, no.
He's just a solid businessman. Okay, so the next race will be the Open Female A final. I'll just talk through that again. Lane 1, we've got the City G's. Lane 2, the Sorrento Gypsies. Then Lane 3, Northcote Critical Business. Lane 4, City Pina Coladas. Lane 5, Broome Heat. And Lane 6, Northcote Mac Attack. And there's someone kindly recovering a few oars out there. Bit of water safety.
Yeah, it is an interesting beach, Scarborough Beach. It can be misinterpreted. You think, it's only 2 foot, 3 foot, but it's definitely sucks and it's a lot more powerful than most waves. It's definitely outsized generally the output that it shows.
So, WA, we can't travel much at the moment, so what's your favourite beach from a surf boat rowing perspective, Noxie?
Oh, you can't go wrong, Scarborough. It always puts on a good effort with the water. Anything can change. It has a good wave. The people and who set it up and take it off the beach are great. And then with their magnificent new club rooms that's recently completed in the last couple of years, it's always nice to head on up after the carnival. So Scarborough's mine. But as we mentioned before, if you get the chance to race in Ocean Thunder or head east or ASRL, I strongly encourage all crews to head across. It's nice to see a WA contingency, but also you get to see different wonderful beaches within Australia.
Okay, so you've taken us east. What's your favourite surf boat rowing beach over east?
Well, it's definitely not Kurrawa. It's a nasty one. I think I can speak for many, but great crews have won out of Kurrawa. DY due to Ocean Thunder, there's lots of Collaroy, that part of Sydney, northern beaches, and then you even go to Maroubra and sort of Allura. They've put on a great carnival with the ASRL. So, but I'd be shot if I didn't say the South Coast. My wife's from Bateman's Bay, and Bateman's Bay, Maruya, Browley, some great, beautiful beaches along that way, including Gerringong. So, yep, anywhere really.
Nuxie just saw his wife in his peripheral vision, like all great sportsmen. He's got good peripheral vision, and he put in the last-minute plug. Yes. All right, we're just waiting for the Open females. Looks like we're about to kick off.
So for all the people around Australia today, and including the old crews we used to race against, hello, Merry Christmas to you all. Hope you're all safe, and we'll hope to catch up with you in real time, potentially early next year if the ASRL's on.
So we had a quick chat to John Wright, or Pies as he's better known earlier, and he's old enough to... I'm going to ask you the question, Noxie. You rode surf boats for a while. Did you ever rescue someone in a surf boat?
Never.
All right. Business end. Business end.
What's that yellow thing at the front of the boat? The tube. I've never used that either. Flags up.
Flag. Guns up.
Exciting times. The Open Women Cruise, they're off and racing. A good clean start by all. They're all off the beach. This is just really important to sit really tall on your hips. Finishing your stroke, of course, but not full length at this stage. The stroke and the sweep will be working together along with your second stroke to get out through these little bubbles, negotiate through the break. Looks like most crews are all out. Northcote got a bit of bubble to hit there. Alongside them is City and the Sorrento crew. That Sorrento left-hand sweep looks great.
Oh, the poor old Pina Coladas just got knocked around there a little bit. City of Perth Pina Coladas got knocked around there a little bit, and they're sort of dead in the water at the moment. They're going to need to get their blades in the water and get some boat speed together.
They are. And I think the crew to look out for is maybe sort of an alley 5 and 6. They've got the Broome Heat and the Northcote crew out there on the right-hand side. I think they'll be good contenders.
Yeah, and I think Critical Business have sort of staked their claim early in the day as well. So I think it'll be a close one between those crews.
Yeah, that's correct, Matt.
Really good.
I enjoy it.
Do you?
Yeah.
All right, we're coming up to the cans, and there's the Northcote Critical Business.
They're looking very strong, aren't they, Matt?
Yeah, they really are.
Like that's daylight. There's maybe 2 or 3 lengths there, and again the Broome crew turning alongside the Northcote crew in alley 5 and 6, as we pointed that out. So let's see what happens on the way home. Sorrento have stopped rowing. Maybe there's an injury inside the boat, or they didn't hit the can. That's unfortunate because they look really strong earlier today.
Yeah, Critical Business really are just...
They're rowing right across, aren't they?
Beautiful, yeah.
And I think they'll square it up here, and they'll get a bit of a run and sit tall. The unfortunate part with the alley 5 and 6, you can't really row this far up because then you've got to finish inside the arena. So definitely an advantage to be in the middle of the course at the moment.
Yeah, a bit of a masterclass here, just coming through, doing exactly what needs to be done. They've just got a little bit out of that, and they're rowing onto it. Oh, I love to see that. Didn't give up.
Yeah, they'll just sit on the back, and
Yeah.
just gently through.
Yeah, beautiful.
I think we'd be safe to put a 1 next to them unless everything goes pear-shaped. But well done to Northcote Critical Business. On the right-hand side, we've got the Northcote Mac Attacks. And Broome, well done, Broome. There's a very, very strong effort there. Coming home strong. And be quite confident to put a 3
Fantastic
next
finish
to
there
Broome.
from Northcote, and the second Northcote crew are coming in to claim their flag now. And it looks like we'll have, Broome looking over there to City. They're just going a bit, handling that wave there. Looks like they'll keep it together. And Broome are coming to claim third place with a strong run. Well done.
Keep it up, girls.
Guys, when you've handled your boat and you've sorted, can you come to the tent so I can do it?
Well done, Sorrento.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Getting that bow side just to dig in a little bit, just to help you pitch that boat forward. Tidying it up there and chipping forward. Good to see City haven't stopped there. They're swam in, and this is the beauty about this event. It's not over until the flag's up. So, up she hops. Great effort, girls. It's great to see.
Desperation here. Oh, I love to see it never say die.
What
Never
a
say
terrific
die.
race, Matt.
Jumping out of the boat, and she ran about 100 metres in the water to claim that, and is absolutely spent now, but fantastic effort. Never, ever say die. Love seeing the competitive spirit.
Okay, as these crews just tidy up from their little spill in that previous race, our final race today, which I'll let Matt call out.
Oh, well set up. Thanks. Thanks, Noxie. I'm actually a bit puffed from running on the beach. Okay, so the open male final. Lane 1, we've got City Black. Lane 2, we've got Northcote, the boys. Lane 3, City Woks. Lane 4, Northcote Jackals. Then lane 5, Northcote Wolverines. And finally, lane 6, Fremantle Madfish.
Crews on the line, setting themselves up all the very best. This is going to be a great race, I think.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it. It's been great racing all day. And, you know, you see, obviously Northcote has been traditionally a strong club for a couple of years. Well, for a long time. But, you know, what's been nice, having been away from it for a little while and coming back, is seeing some of the non-traditional, or, you know, the ones that haven't been as strong for a while.
Yeah, exactly.
The ones that stand to mind, Swanbourne, you know. That was great to see those guys there, and Fremantle as well coming back.
Fremantle and clubs just have a little resurgence, don't they? City have come back and they're very, very strong. And now we're seeing Mullaloo come through, and great to see Swanbourne and obviously the crew from Broome.
Yeah, absolutely. And Scarborough as well. Scarborough's always had weighted numbers in the surf boat, and, you know, good to see that strong culture of the club. It would have been tough when the new surf club was being done. That always makes it hard for a surf club. It's good to see that they've just come back to it.
It's the people that make the surf club, I think, Matt. And, you know, when you've got good people in there, you know, albeit you have renovations, which is for the greater good, and they may have had a year or two out, we know that people will migrate back to a good club.
Yeah.
So well done, Scarborough.
And that's exactly what we're seeing, so it's great. And like you say, they've got a great beach as the basis to run a club from. You know?
It is. It's central, and it's, like I said, it puts on a good wave. Down to the starter, I think.
Right, flags up, guns up, and they're away. This is where it gets real serious.
Yeah, this is the big boys. They're out.
And they've all parked their boats out a fair long way, so their runner A couple of crews strokes, a couple of crews have gone their sweep, so different strategies. But they parked them a fair way out to get that sort of length head start.
That's right. So the crews can't get into the boat until the sweep actually touches the boat. So there's a bit of compromise there. But really important, it does take a second or two for the crews to wrap over the gunnels and get in. So a good sweep will tap the boat as soon as they can, knowing that they've still got a second or two to get sort of where they need to position themselves in the boat.
Yeah, the boys had a good start, but Fremantle on the far right there, the Madfish, they had a mad good start.
Oh, a very mad good start. And off they go. They're out and about. You could pretty much put a line over sort of alleys 2, 3s, 4 and a 6 at the moment. But still a fair bit of rain to go and into that sort of southwest chop and a bit of a drift from left to right. So the sweeps will be lining themselves up, most probably between the two cans at the moment. So where I sit between the red and the black, the sweep will most probably be lining maybe just right or centre of the black can there. And then with about sort of 40 metres, just drift across onto that black can. So here we go, there's lightning off at the moment. Northcote in that black can going around once. Fremantle on the far right, about 1 or 2 strokes to head onto that yellow can. Around the city beach as well.
I think, the boys really they're looking strong, and it's going to take a mighty effort from one of the other crews to catch them at this stage. Well around the buoy and well on their way.
Now, it's an easy thing. I know it's a final, but it's the mentality of you just row your race. It doesn't matter how far or how far behind you are. It's easier to sit back and say, we're 3 or 4 ahead. But these guys, I know, would have the pedal to the metal, going through their process, knowing what position they are. Is kind of irrelevant, but doing what they do best in the Sou'wester.
Yeah, absolutely. I remember the first state championships I was involved in, and we actually won. And Two-Seat, who was looking out that way, told us that we had won, and I didn't believe him because I was too busy just pulling on my oar.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to stop rowing, but we'd actually passed the finish line and was stuck in the sand.
That's where you want. And Matt, Northcote coming into that sort of wave area, so it's definitely not over. A couple of crews following in from the outside. Let's say City...
It's sloppy there. It's not easy for the sweep to get through that little zone. But he's managed it masterfully.
Yep.
All right.
Dave Hunt, well done. He's had these boys for a couple of years.
Over the right, catching a little wave there, little skate.
Yeah.
Hopefully they can row through. They've got a lot of sand over there, a lot of shallow water. City coming in. Now, it's a nice sprint. Yeah, the boys have taken the final. And now City. City are pushing hard.
Yeah, well done.
And City's going to take out second place. And Fremantle, we've got Fremantle, City and Northcote crew.
Well done, all crews. It's good to
well
see.
done.
Some tight racing.
Hard push. And then poor old Northcote Wolverines, who had a tough start, and they're just coming in now.
Yeah, it's to mix that up, isn't it? Do you want to make an A-grade final, or do you want to win a B-grade final? So it's well done to all crews, making a great day of it. It's great to be down here today and watch and comment. And Matt, you did a great job. Thanks for the invite.
Thanks, Noxie. It's an absolute pleasure to work with you. It'd be great to have a quick chat. How long are we on?
We're just going to get results away and then we'll do a sign-off.
Right, okay. So no time for an interview. I was hoping the Broome guys were going to be down here. How long do you reckon? 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 2 minutes? Yeah. Yeah. So results will need to go there. Noxie, so the results will need to go there.
I think, the boys, we were trying to get hold of them, but they're back in their boat. Dedicated crew, mostly do a bit of a training session. So I think they're going to row their boat up to the beach and up onto the trailer now. Just on that, everyone, Scarborough have had a great refurb on their club, and it's a magnificent club. So we'd love to see everyone up after everyone's put their boat on the trailer. Catch up with your rowing mates, your colleagues, the people you can have bragging rights with. Catch up with a cold drink. going to see you up at the club at Scarborough. But we'll hopefully catch hold of the winners of some of these crews before we sign out.
I mean, we can just read the results out.
Okay, this has been a bit of a, surf league, surf boat special. And for the special, we've had a team, the Broome Heat. They've travelled pretty much 3,000 kilometres to come and participate this and had a pretty good day out. Was it worth the trip?
Oh, definitely. It's, like you said, more than 2,500 kilometres, but worth every minute of it. We train hard. We certainly do train really hard. Pete and Carrie have been doing this for a really long time. So I reckon you should talk to the experts here.
Right, so when you speak about experts, don't worry about the dead weight. Don't worry about the dead weight. I noticed, I'm sorry, your name was?
Carrie.
Okay, Carrie, I noticed you were the bow person and you were running for the flag. No? Number 2. You were number 2 and running for the flag. Talk us through your training and how you keep competitive without anyone to compete against.
No, everything we're by ourselves out in the ocean. 3 times a week we head out. We got cyclones at the moment, rain, crocodiles, sharks, humidity. It's pretty hard, but we get there.
So there's nothing to make it hard for you to be competitive. You no challenges, just a croc or two and a cyclone or two. Yeah. All right. And how long have you been rowing together as a crew?
Broome Heat formed just on 10 years ago with different combinations, of course. Myself and Carrie have been in it the whole time. And, travelled all over Australia, Worlds, Aussies, medalled twice in both of them. Silver medal at the WA States a couple of years ago, which was great. A couple of countries, NT titles we've won a few of. So, we get around a bit, yeah.
Brilliant. Well, it's my first introduction to you guys, and, I'm really great to see you, and well done. It was definitely worth a trip. Good to see you. All right, cheers. Okay, so just reviewing the results from our first Surf League Surf Boat Special. The male B final, we had in first place Fremantle Who Dis. Second place, the Mullaloo Mid-Size Rigs. Third place... Oh, sorry, scratch that. Commentator novice error. So first place we had the City Barebacks, City of Perth Barebacks. Second place we had the Headless Oarsmen from Swanbourne, Netherlands. Then we've got the Cottesloe Muppets in third place. Fourth place, City Drafts. Fifth, Fremantle Who Dis. And unfortunately, in sixth place, the Mullaloo Mid-Size Rigs for the male B final. So for the male A final, in first place, we've got Northcott, the boys, who we met earlier in the day. Second place, the City of Perth Woks. Third place, Fremantle Madfish under 23 crew. Fourth place, the veteran City Black crew. Fifth place, Northcott Jackals. And in sixth place, the Northcott Wolverines, who had a difficult start. Now going to the open female, the B final, we had the City Bonitas in first place. Scarborough Beach Sunsets. Northcott Young Guns in third. Scarborough Shadows in fourth place. City of Perth Roosters in fifth, and Scarborough Storm in sixth place. So finally, for the female A final, we had Northcott Critical Business in first place. Northcott Mac Attack taking second place, and the Broome Heat in third place. City G's, fourth place. Sorrento Gypsies in fifth. And in sixth place, we had the City of Perth Pina Coladas. Yep. Okay, so thanks for joining us at Scarborough Beach for a fantastic first carnival of the Surf League, Surf Boat Special Edition. Short format proved really exciting throughout the day. Thanks for joining us, and hope you can join us next time.